Hello, everybody. Welcome to our main event, our retrospective of Captain America Civil War. Man, I've been looking forward to this all week. So, Sammy, we're going to do what we normally do, guys. Do a brief history, go act by act, and then have our breakdowns. Well, you go ahead, Sammy, and give us a brief history on Captain America Civil War.
All right, guys, history behind the film of Captain America Civil War. It was released on May 6, 2016, and these are just some of the cast members, guys. Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Don Cheadle, Sebastian Stan, Scarlett Johansson, Elizabeth Olsen, Anthony Mackie, Jeremy Renner, Paul Bettany, Paul Rudd, Emily Van Camp, William Hurt, and introducing Daniel Bruhl, Chadwick Boseman, and Tom Holland.
Oof, just some of the cast.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, guys. So the development and production of Captain America Civil War marked one of the most pivotal moments in both the history of the MCU and Marvel Studios itself. Following the success of Captain America the Winter Soldier and Avengers Age of Ultron, Marvel wanted to adapt its hugely popular 2006 to 2007 comic event Civil War. Written by Mark Miller and illustrated by Stephen McNiven. But the studio faced a major challenge. The original comic centered around the Superhuman Registration Act and featured dozens of heroes that Marvel Studios either hadn't introduced yet or no longer had the film rights to, such as the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. Instead, Marvel reworked the story to fit the existing MCU continuity by making the ideological conflict a direct consequence of the destruction seen in Avengers, Winter Soldier, and Age of Ultron. The Sokovia disaster became the catalyst for the Sokovia Accords, naturally dividing Chris Evans' Stephen Rogers and Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark over questions of accountability and freedom. Although marketed as a third Captain America film, the project essentially functioned as Avengers 2.5, bringing together nearly every major MCU hero while also introducing major new players. Behind the scenes, the movie was produced during what many fans and insiders have since referred to as Marvel Studios' own internal civil war. During development, long-standing tensions between Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige and Marvel Entertainment CEO Ike Perlmutter reportedly reached a breaking point over budgeting, creative control, and decision-making. Perlmutter was known for a highly cost-conscious management style and maintained oversight of Marvel Studios through the Marvel Entertainment structure. In 2015, during pre-production of Civil War, Disney CEO Bob Iger reorganized Marvel Studios, allowing Feige to report directly to Disney's film leadership rather than Perlmutter. This management change is widely viewed as one of the most important events in MCU history, giving Marvel Studios significantly greater creative freedom and helping reshape the ambitious storytelling that followed the studio. In Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Endgame. At the same time, directors Anthony Russo and Joe Russo returned after the success of Winter Soldier and embraced the challenge of balancing a massive ensemble while keeping the story emotionally centered on Steve Rogers. Filming began in 2015 across Atlanta, Georgia, Germany, Puerto Rico, Iceland, and several other international locations. By this point, the MCU had become Hollywood's dominant franchise, and nearly every cast member had seen their careers transformed by Marvel. Chris Evans had fully been synonymous with Captain America. Robert Downey Jr. remained the face of the franchise and one of the highest-paid actors in the world. Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Don Cheadle, Elizabeth Olsen, and Paul Bettany all returned with expanded roles, while the film also introduced two hugely important characters, Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther and Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Holland, only 19 years old at the time, was a relatively unknown actor whose energetic audition reportedly impressed both Marvel and Sony, while Boseman brought tremendous gravitas to T'Challa. One of the film's biggest behind-the-scenes achievements was negotiating the groundbreaking deal between Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures Entertainment to allow Spider-Man to finally join the MCU after years of separate continuity. The famous airport battle sequence became one of the largest and most complex action scenes Marvel has ever attempted, requiring months of planning and extensive visual effects work while still prioritizing character interactions over spectacle. When Captain America Civil War premiered in 2016, it was immediately hailed as one of the MCU's finest achievements, with critics praising its massive themes, mature themes, emotional weight, action choreography, and ability to successfully juggle a huge ensemble cast. The film earned approximately 90% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics and 89% from audiences, cementing its reputation as one of Marvel's strongest entries. Financially, it was a massive success, grossing roughly $1.155 billion worldwide against a production budget estimated at $250 million. More than simply another blockbuster, Civil War fundamentally changed the MCU by shattering the Avengers, introducing Black Panther and Spider-Man, and setting the stage for the events of Avengers Infinity War. In many ways, both on-screen and behind the scenes, the film represents a true turning point for Marvel Studios, reflecting the creative and organizational evolution that would define the franchise's next era.
Man, that's intense.
In other words, guys, pardon my French, a lot of shit went down.
Yeah, shit went down.
All right, Ike, what's the official synopsis?
So the official synopsis, guys, is political involvement in the Avengers' affairs causes a rift between Captain America and Iron Man. Very simple.
Very simple, but yet, oh my gosh, so consequential. This is so cool. So, guys, we're just gonna dive right into this fella because he's a big one. All right, I'll read Act 1 then.
Okay.
All right, so Act 1, The Accords and Division. After a series of global incidents involving the Avengers, world governments introduced the Sokovia Accords, which would place the team under United Nations control. The Avengers split into opposing ideologies. Tony Stark supports oversight after feeling responsible for past destruction. Steve Rogers opposes control, believing the Avengers should operate freely to do what's right. Tensions escalate when a bombing at the UN conference kills King T'Chaka, and evidence frames Bucky Barnes as the attacker. Steve refuses to believe Bucky is responsible and goes rogue to protect him, breaking from the Avengers. This causes a full ideological split between the team. So first off, I'm going to say, guys, before we get into this Act 1, I know we just rushed getting into it because there's so much to talk about, but a little bit on that history of the film that I want to mention is this was very ambitious for Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers to tackle this big comic book. And I love that at the same time they were doing their own Civil War, and thankfully the people that emerged victorious of that gave us some of the best MCU we've ever had. Yeah. So it worked out in Marvel Studios' favor. But just like what we're about to discuss between Captain America and Iron Man, in this movie version, I am going to constantly in my brain compare it to the comic book, and I have to say hands down that what they will achieve here so far, and we're going to break down each scene as we get to it, of course, is impressive what the Russo brothers have been able to put together into a one film with what they had. So, anyways.
I personally have never read the comic of this.
And what I have right here.
Sometime, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is really cool. This is Dad's.
Okay.
He had this first. And this only has issues 1 through 7.
Okay, how many issues are there?
Many.
Yeah, it's a big story, right?
The Civil War, they called it a company-wide event. So, because it didn't just affect Avengers, it affected everybody. This Civil War in the comics took place right after the Mutant Registration Act and how that failed. So politics being politics, decided the Superhuman Registration Act. Yeah, so instead of just targeting mutants, they therefore targeted the whole superhero community. And just like what we're going to see in this film, it was Captain America and his team versus Iron Man and the government's team.
Okay.
And it got much more complex, of course, in the comics. Of course, the comics had everybody. And this is actually where the Fantastic Four even split up. Because Sue went on Cap's side and Reed went on Iron Man's side. I don't remember where Johnny went. I think Ben went to Paris. He was like, I'm done with this whole thing. And Sue and Reed got divorced because of what happened in this. That's how and I will always remember this. They got divorced with her leaving a note on their nightstand saying, "I have to leave you because we are too different."
Damn.
One of the things now, guys, when we get into this, we're not a political podcast, so we're not going to talk politics. But the Civil War comic and this movie, to a degree, does touch upon the political differences that they have. Not so black and white, like left wing versus right wing, or whatever you want to call it. The comics actually goes a little more in detail of left wing versus right wing, but we're not talking about politics, guys. We're talking about the story as it is.
Yeah.
But they were very big in the comics of political ideologies really back and were enforcing their decision making.
I think I'm going to read them sometime.
Yeah, because this is like I said, this is like it says here. This collects issue 1 through 7. There's many issues, and plus every character in Marvel Comics was affected by this. Where even some of their solo stuff, it had a special label on it that says when it was during the Civil War era.
Oh, okay.
So everybody, Daredevil, you name it, they had something happening to them during this time.
Yeah.
So it became one of their biggest stories to tell. I would even go so far to argue, for me personally at least, this is bigger than the Infinity War comic line.
Okay.
Because this was such a divide amongst the
Yeah.
heroes themselves. So anyways, yeah, this is... Oh boy.
Yes.
All right. So what we just talked about in Act 1, Ike, what do you think?
So I'm gonna start right out then. Okay.
Yes.
Let's. I love this opening. I love the opening of seeing Bucky taking out this car, and of course it's kind of a mystery. We know what happens later, but I do like that. I do like that in the 3 Captain America movies. One of the key elements that they kind of focus in on is the super soldier idea. And I know in Winter Soldier, it's not so much a super soldier idea, but it is because Bucky's the bad guy in that, right? And he's the one that's being controlled. So it's this whole idea of the super soldier thing ultimately is always in Cap's storyline, the super soldier serum, you know? Oh, yeah, I like that it starts right out with, like, showing something from the past because you know later it's gonna come back, and it does in a great way. And I'm actually really impressed this whole opening scene of them with this fight they have with Crossbones. I think Crossbones is the way they did it by using him as a low-tier villain that ultimately was gonna sacrifice himself just to take out Cap because he hates him that much. I thought he was a perfect one to put in here for this moment to get this movie started so we get this idea of what's going on. And then using, Frank Grillo from being all tore up from Winter Soldier, I think was genius on their part to do so. This guy's a total terrorist in this, and it works out well. It's just the last remnants of Hydra that Steve's still hunting down, and I just love that. I think that works well. I think the whole team worked well in this. The things were funny. Wanda's powers were shown real awesome in this. I mean, Crossbones kind of put up a good fight with Cap, but ultimately Cap was just had him, but I liked that he went to blow himself up to take Cap out. The whole scenario was interesting. I enjoyed that a lot, I'm really, really impressed with that. What do you think of that so far? Because I'll stop there for now.
Oh yeah, because there's
more. But
there's a lot in this.
Yeah, let's go back and forth with that. So
a lot happens in this. It's oh gosh. Yeah, I like the nuance, the mystery of Bucky doing his Winter Soldier stuff in the beginning because you have no idea really what that means, and later on, when it references back to it and you get the full picture, holy smokes.
Yeah, holy moly.
That's a great way, brilliant way that the Russo brothers are able to do that, honestly.
No, your man can't lose yet.
Not yet.
Gee, guy.
The whole, is it Largos?
Yes.
The place? Yes. That's the same thing that I said in Age of Ultron. Is I love the Avengers as avenging, just being Avengers.
Just doing their team stuff.
You didn't have to have the full team, and actually I'm kind of glad they didn't overcrowd it with the full team. Like, they didn't have Hawkeye, they didn't have the Hulk and Thor and all that. And honestly speaking, I know that that's going to be one of the big elephants in the room is where's Bruce and where is Thor? You don't need them for this type of movie. Because in all reality, they're both too powerful for something like this. This movie needed to stay ideological as the main battle, and you didn't need the bigger set pieces for those two characters. It did a better service, especially when we see later on with Ragnarok where they've been this whole time, to not have them here.
I agree.
Um,
People would have died if they
oh,
were there.
yeah, they make this a point in this movie that the whole reason why they're doing these is from the destruction. Like Largos is just the latest example of the never-ending things the Avengers have just been a part of.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, adding the Hulk to that, oh my gosh. It wouldn't be just that floor or 2 floors that were blown up. The whole building would have been gone.
And let's be honest, between you and I right now, we'll just squash this Hulk and Thor thing. I'm completely fine with them not being there, but a lot of it is too because both of them would have been on Cap's side.
Yes. And I think they even referenced that in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do.
For Banner in particular.
Yeah.
They said he wouldn't be for the government.
Yeah. And Ross even says, if I misplaced a couple 2 megaton nuclear bombs, and I just like that they refresh, so it's smart that Hulk's gone, and it's smart that Thor's out doing Thor stuff.
Yeah.
Which makes sense why they're gone. You can't just get a hold of them. So explained away.
Yeah. Yes.
Done. It's over.
That if anything, that was a beauty that how they left in Age of Ultron. They just you didn't need to see them again.
Yeah.
This took place immediately after.
Yep.
Avengers are still doing their thing. Yeah. So like you just said, how you laid it out perfectly for Crossbones. Perfect little side villain to start off with to show the Avengers are still avenging. It still picks up right where Winter Soldier left off for Captain America, because at the end of the day, this is Captain America Civil War, not Avengers Civil War.
That's right.
So, and I love that was their decision from the very beginning of doing this movie. This is Cap's third movie, and it's still going to align with him, because just like in the comic book, you're a little bit more of you're seeing both sides and fully how they play out, and you do see how they fully play out. But in this film, they focus that this is still a Steve-centric film.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that they automatically just pick the side for us to watch and to be rooting for.
Yeah.
It didn't have to get into amongst the fandom of a political ideological divide, because at the end of the day, everyone was for Cap.
Oh yeah,
for the whole
sure.
thing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that part of it. So yeah, this was really cool. This that whole opening act, the action sequences, and I want to say I think that for this whole film, this is Black Widow's best. Is in this opening sequence for me, for fighting wise.
It's up there. I agree.
Well, I mean, for this film in particular.
Oh, for this film, yeah.
Yes, she does good in the rest. Don't get me wrong.
This beginning part though is it's awesome.
Yeah, everyone is at their peak.
Yeah.
For their fighting, and the jokes are coming off really well.
Yep.
Wanda is extremely useful. You could tell they're just tapping into her potential here, and they use her just enough where you get a glimpse of all this stuff, and she compliments the other people, like Steve when he says, "Remember what we practiced?" And then she just throws him up in the air, be like, "Oh, that's so cool!"
Mm-hmm.
And then her getting all the gas out, really cool. Like, she's only used 3 times here, and that third one was a surprise one, because Steve would have been gone.
Yeah.
If she wasn't there.
Oh, he'd have been dead.
So it was just so orchestrated, and I love their relationship in this film. I know we're gonna get to that at some point. Steve really looks out for Wanda and views her as the kid.
He does. He feels bad for her.
Yeah.
Because she's scared of her own powers at this point still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I think that this team's very efficient.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually kind of sad that they're lucky that there wasn't more casualties.
Mm-hmm.
This actually was pretty. I'd say this was a success. I don't know what they're talking. Anyways,
well,
what are you talking about?
Comparing to all
what
the rest,
happened here, it's if you're going to measure what you're supposed to do, that explosion happening that she didn't set off. She was just trying to fend away, and any of those people that died in that building from it is probably a better trade-off than whatever the hell they were going to do with that bioweapon. So what are we talking about here? Mr. Ross, you're going to need to tell us exactly what you'd have done against these people. You know what I mean? That wasn't going to have other casualties of war here. Like, what are we talking about, right? Like, this Sokovia Accords is just stupid. But we'll get to that when we start talking about it more. I like the introduction to Barf in this.
Oh,
This new thing he has.
yes.
I only want to bring this up though, because
Yeah.
when he was like walking around, I couldn't help but look for Quentin Beck in the background.
Yes, me
Like,
too.
maybe he's there, maybe he's
Knowing
but he's not there. But knowing that this is the scene, it's like, man, how genius that still is
Yeah.
to me. And like, so we didn't see him obviously, but it's too bad. I just was like, where is he? Where is he?
Yeah.
But it's just, that it's there. So it's hard
That's
not
so
to think
true.
about.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And this woman he meets in the hallway, she's just, I mean, I understand her pain. I get it. Yes, she lost a son and it's awful what happened. And technically Ultron is kind of Tony's fault, which is what is the motivation of Tony in this. He feels a lot of guilt because he's already got trouble with guilt, let alone let's pile it on and have someone come in and show me pictures of you start individually showing what these people look like, then your guilt meter is going to fly out the roof, But she's not right here. I disagree with her. He did not murder her son. It's not what she's grieving, and she's grieving in a bad way, and he's going to take it and it's going to be fuel for him, and it hits him personal. And it's too bad because her way of thinking about what this is just not correct. Ultron needed to be stopped. He was going to do that. So it's like, it's either the entire world gets destroyed and everybody dies, or you risk casualties of war and your son happened to be one of them. As much as we wish it didn't turn out that way, it's kind of what happens. Yeah. I'm definitely picking your son over the world if it was up to me. And that's not even how it was placed to them. It's not like they knew we got to let that boy die or everybody else is going to die. They didn't even know that. And I'm saying that I would let your boy die knowing it if it come down to the rest of the world. Sorry. I mean, that sounds awful to people out there, but we got to be honest. Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, and even to Tony's defense, he literally was putting people in their tub and moving them out of the building that was collapsing.
Doing the best they could.
Like, they were saving. That's why the whole helicarriers came up and were putting people on there. They were saving as many people as they could and making the best out of that circumstances for Sokovia in particular. But all of these things, whether the Avengers were going to be there for Loki and the aliens coming or not, the aliens were going to come.
Yeah.
It just so happened you had a team that was somewhat getting assembled to at least be formidable enough to stop them. Like,
which brings up to the point, like, what else are you going to do? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the Hulk smashed a couple buildings while he's also ripping apart aliens.
Yeah. And your answer was to nuke a city full of people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that, though.
Exactly.
We're about to kill everybody just to get rid of the aliens.
Yes.
Yeah. But now you want to put these guys on a list?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? There's something I don't get. The logic is simple to me.
You're exactly right. I mean,
that and Cap's right. It's like, what happens if they call us to do something that we don't agree with? Or they don't call us for something that we should be there for?
Yep.
He's 100% right. 100% right.
His whole stick was we should have the freedom to choose where we're going to go and how we're going to be used and to make our own decisions when it comes to because they could just turn into glorified SHIELD agents and now do the world's bidding, the UN's bidding for them. No, that's not how this is supposed to be.
Yep.
And
this is coming from a guy who saved the world more than once. He died and went 70 years in the ice over the same ideology.
They use what happened in Winter Soldier in Washington, D.C. as one of those sticking points. It'd be like, this is another reason why we're coming in. Do you realize what those 3 helicarriers were about to do?
Yeah.
Literally had targets on almost everybody in the world because they potentially could become an adversary to Hydra.
And they were supposed to be the people we trusted.
Like, and where did those things fall? They fell in the water right there. Okay, you got splashed in the face. That's not justification to put Captain America on a registration. It's just, I agree with you. And I think that's the point that they definitely were trying to make is that there is a lot of illogical, but this is the only way that humans can feel like they have power, because at the end of the day, they're very scared. They don't have the power.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I'm doing everything I can in my body to not draw it to current or real world political tensions, but you see what that's like throughout all of history. When you're trying to fix a solution, often you could come across as hurting something that actually is helping you.
Right.
And that's literally what they're doing this whole time, is that if they put all the Avengers in check and made them do that, how do we know that the next disaster is going to come? The Thanos, are they going to sanction that?
Right.
Are you allowed to go and fight a big purple guy that's coming down?
What's going to take that to happen, right? Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Yeah, and that's so we're all in agreement.
Yes. Yeah. So,
if you think the government should have oversight of the Avengers, then you're just dumb. But like, I'm sorry, I don't want to say it. I mean, you might think that, but the truth is yeah, it's not the right answer.
no, and what's great about this movie is they make that clear to you as the audience, whether you agree with the Sokovia Accords or not, that everyone should understand and agree you should have the freedom to choose what you want to do.
Well, it's smart having Steve break away, learning that Peggy's died.
Yeah.
Because we still keep this just Captain America's movie.
Yeah.
Any personal moments, anything that's quiet like this is going to be with Steve. And then I think that's smart.
Mhm.
And I like that has played out that way. And I also love, I think this we're still in this part right here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. This whole everyone getting together and introducing Black Panther this way. Oh my gosh. What brilliance of just introducing T'Challa. Because technically the next part is where we actually meet Black Panther himself, like him as Black Panther. But and then having this explosion happen, this is something else, man. Like this gets crazy. Like it just escalates this whole thing, and it makes you realize that this is going to get out of control in a hurry.
Yeah.
And by having them involved in killing T'Challa's father like that right off the bat, like they just quickly, I mean, we don't even know T'Challa worth a crap yet. And they gave us probably one of his biggest emotional moments in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
It actually worked real well. Like it worked real well. What a risk though, really.
Yes, it is. Yes.
What a risk. And it actually worked. And Chadwick Boseman's so good as, I forgot how much I liked him as this character.
It's so brilliant. Yeah, I trying to make sure I have my notes exactly right what this is about in this act, because like we said, there's a lot in here.
It's just hard to I mean, I'm trying to get the highlights, right? Like,
and you get introduced to this mysterious guy. You don't even know his name is Zemo yet, and what he's doing, orchestrating things, and you find out in Act 2 onward what his shtick is, what he's actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's terrifying when he's finding.
Yeah.
It's he is so complex of a character. Of you think, oh, he finds a Hydra guy, and he drowns him basically to get answers out of him. You're thinking, oh, Hydra's bad, so this guy must be good. This guy's not good. It's how the Russo brothers, and I'll get to that when we get to our character deep dives for him in particular, how they were able to rework a classic Captain America villain to fit this storyline was so brilliant. And how they did him.
Yeah, I've got a lot to say about him, but I want to save it for later.
Okay.
But you're right, because there's a couple things I really want to point out that I'm super impressed about when it comes down to this guy.
Yeah.
So, first of all, the actor's phenomenal.
Yes.
And he's good in anything he does. I've seen him do a lot of other stuff. But in this, he's just got, there's a specific scene that's on my end list twice, actually. The same scene. So, yeah, let's.
Well, to touch on another thing that you already mentioned then, Peggy Carter's funeral.
Yeah.
Wow. This is pulled straight out of the comics, I will tell you, from the Civil War comic.
Is it? Wow, it's good.
The wording,
I wondered if it was.
The exact wording that Sharon Carter says about planting yourself like a tree and telling them, no, you move, is verbatim. That's not something the Russo brothers came up with. That is exact dialogue in the comics.
That's impressive. Yeah.
And it gives me goosebumps to think that they were able to take that part of it and integrate it, and so beautifully well done in this film.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, keeping it still Steve-centric.
Mm-hmm.
The emotion he has on his face when he's carrying her casket, and you see when he's sitting on the stairs and you just got the text that she passed away. It's a short scene, but it's so moving.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I thoroughly enjoyed that whole scene of how they sent her off, and how Steve is still fighting. You can see if she was still alive today, she's fighting an uphill battle. She would see him and have sympathy for him fighting an uphill battle
yeah.
he's about to go through.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's that, and then what you said about T'Challa, introducing him, Chadwick Boseman. Oh my gosh, what a charming guy he
Man, he's
is.
a good-looking fella,
He is,
and he just commands attention.
He steals the scene.
Yeah.
When you just see him turn around from where he's looking, and you're like, oh my gosh, like he could have just been anybody, but you immediately know without even them saying his name or anything. Oh, this is a main guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's main character energy right there. What people would say, like and the way they developed the Wakandan accent between him and his dad. Wow.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
This
good.
is,
Yeah.
tell you what, the Russo brothers, they had fun with this because
did have fun.
they got to introduce him, and then later on another character. They got to be the part of the origin of them to the MCU before these characters got, of course, expand upon their own films. And that it's just so cool that they were able to have two new toys in their sandbox.
Yeah. It's funny as I'm watching him in this, and not to take away from the actor, because I'm trying. Obviously, guys, he's fantastic. It's sad that he's gone.
Yeah.
But I did kind of in my mind picture my pick for Black Panther and how it would look, and I think Damson Idris could pull the same off. Because he's a tall, bigger guy, good looking, and like I think he also has that charmingness about him that would work. That would almost feel seamless.
Like
just
complementary to Chadwick
Yeah,
Boseman.
it would be.
Yeah.
Yep. Without being him,
Mm-hmm.
but still having that same feel of, when he comes in a room. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So what didn't work for you? Because I'll tell you what doesn't work for me.
Go right ahead then.
Honestly, it's nothing real specific, but I probably could have used maybe 10 more minutes of them debating the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah.
Just because it was fun listening to them talk about it. And I think a couple points could have been made to really send it home more.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all that's wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's not even anything wrong. Just throw a little more in.
It's just I want more.
Yeah, I want more.
Really?
Yeah, so it's not really wrong as it is. I could listen to that for 20 more minutes.
I completely agree with you there. Yeah, because there's so much that happened in here. That's actually what I put for my standout moment, is the whole introducing the Sokovia Accords and them debating. I wish it was longer, like you said, but for what we got.
My standout moment, believe it or not, is introducing Black Panther. It worked that well for me.
Yeah.
Just seeing them talking and their dialogue. And I like his talk with Natasha right away. I'm like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just stood out to me about how much I liked it so much.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, I wrote down here, introducing Sokovia Accords, also the intro to the Wakandans.
That wild.
Yeah, I wrote
so good.
Literally that exactly.
Yep.
That thing down. So, gosh, is there any more we want to say? By the way,
no, I'm ready to move right into Act 2.
I do want to say right before we go in, this whole Act 1, we are only 35 minutes into this movie with an hour and 56 minutes left.
That's wild, guys. Yeah.
And this is how amazing it is. What is your score for Act 1?
10 out of 10.
Me too.
Nailed it. So in.
This is so good.
So in.
This is so good. All right, Ike, why don't you read Act 2?
All right, so Act 2, guys. Steve and Sam Wilson attempt to find Bucky before he is captured or killed, while Tony assembles a government-aligned team, including Black Widow, War Machine, Vision, Black Panther, and meanwhile, it is revealed that the true mastermind is his name really Helmet?
Helmet.
I'm sorry, dude. It's a horrible name. I'm just going to call you Zemo. is Zemo, that is the worst name. Someone needs to go back in time and slap his mama.
His father's name is Baron.
That's way better than Helmet. Who's like, look at her baby. Oh, it's Helmet. Okay. Who manipulates events to destroy the Avengers? No wonder he's mad. To destroy the Avengers from within as revenge for Sokovia. The conflict escalates into multiple battles, airport confrontation in Germany, ideological breakdowns, and the capture of Bucky. Steve learns that Bucky was brainwashed by Hydra and is not responsible for the bombings. So I want to start right off the bat telling you that I think after this explosion, this chase scene to get Bucky from when Steve meets him in the apartment to the chase when they get captured might be the best chase scene in the MCU, period, hands down. Don't even question it. Grabbing the motorcycle and jumping on it, all the jumping across the buildings. I love that they're in the apartment and Sam is counting down how close they're getting and they're just having this conversation like it doesn't matter, and it just is. It works so good. I like that he's like, no killing, and Bucky's like, I'm not gonna kill anybody. It's like, it's just a realization in Steve's eyes that, oh, what's going on here? You know, what's really happening? I love this chase scene. I watched it twice. Love it. When they run, it looks so wild when they're running real fast. I'm like, man, it almost looks weird. Like, it almost looks bad, but it doesn't at the same time. And then we get to see Black Panther in all his glory. And holy moly, is he the coolest dude. He is nasty looking. He's got all, I love it. I love it.
Suit is awesome. The claws when they come out, so cool. I love that he is riding the car that Cap is driving the whole time and Cap can't shake him. And I'm like, this is so cool. Like, this is like every comic book lover should be geeking out this whole time.
The action in this is just spectacular, man. Like when he grabs that motorcycle and then jumps on it, like
that is,
I'm just like, oh, phenomenal. I cannot get over how awesome this looks.
That is so good.
Cap turns that truck and just runs out of the truck.
Yes, as it's flipping, like, holy smoke!
Like you're just on the edge of your seat the whole time. Oh, what a great action sequence.
Oh my gosh.
My God, so good.
Wow.
I can't get over that.
Yeah.
How much I love that scene, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wrote on here, this movie takes spy espionage thriller style that we saw in Winter Soldier and amplifies it to 100 on the Avengers level event.
Yep, right out the roof.
It's wow.
And then everything that follows it. How do you even, the fact that they're captured, here they are, they're in this thing. What brilliance is it that he used them with the bombing was literally just to get them to capture Bucky so he could be in the room with them to read that book to him.
Yeah.
Holy crap, I love it so much, man.
Yeah.
Like, as it's happening, I'm just like, I remember when I saw this first time in the theater and my jaw was on the ground. I'm like, this is just phenomenal. This has always been one of my favorites. And I was just like, this is phenomenal. I love this whole situation. That leads into him escaping, you know, and how Tony, even before we get to that point, let's go back just a little bit. All right, when Tony, this is one of my favorite moments between Tony and Steve. When they're sitting there and Tony sits down with the pens.
Yes.
He says, listen, nothing's happened yet. They can't be reversed.
Yep.
And they have a great conversation.
And they can have provisions.
Yeah. This moment, though, is when it gets real personal with them. And you know what they did in this one that they didn't do in Winter Soldier? Was he literally asked about Pepper. And Tony finally was like, yeah, we're on a break. And Steve, out of who he is and how he feels for Tony, that friendship is actually really there. Was like, well, I'm sorry to hear about that. And it's so sincere. And Tony's just like, and I like that Tony doubles down on this whole, look, you annoy the hell out of me. You took up so much of my childhood from my dad that I just want to punch you in the face, but we do need you. And I do like you too. And I do need you. I just don't want to hit you, you know, but Steve really does care about Tony. Like when he says he's not with Pepper, which thank you guys. It's all you got to do. Now I already feel the weight of it already. That's all you got to do. And Steve, just the way he responded to it was just
so in character. So,
oh my God, this character between between them two. Oh, talk about it for a second. I'm freaking out.
I love that he walks in. This is What's really meta about this makes me love Cap even more. Is this guy's been frozen for decades, almost a century, basically. And Tony walks in, he's like, these pens are from FDR signing whatever bill it was. I don't know at the top of my head, but it was some sort of bill. Immediately, Steve's response was, some would say that brought our government closer to war. What he signed. Be like, oh my gosh. Like, that geeked me out because I love hearing the political stuff, and I love that they brought that into here in a creative way, and be like, Tony thought he was bringing in something really cool that Cap would have appreciated, but meanwhile Cap has his anti-government political hat on, and he's like, some would say that was pretty bad. I don't want to sign it with something like that, you know? Like, holy smokes.
We want to break the set.
Yeah, yes, that's what he says at the end. Yeah, and I love that Steve at that moment, he almost was willing to compromise with saying there has to be this, and Tony's like, oh yeah, there'll be. It's when Tony mentions to Steve, because Steve's asking him about who is signed, who hasn't, all that stuff, and he says that we have Wanda on lockdown, and Steve did not have that. He was like, no way. Why? And then he called her, I believe, a weapon of mass destruction, and that's when Steve ripped around and yelled, she's a kid. And it's like, oh my, the tensions. That's what I loved about this movie a lot is, and I mentioned it earlier already, that Steve, just because he's older, obviously, in continuity wise and all of them, he's like 90 something,
right?
But he is kind of like the father figure of the Avengers. He's looking out for all their best interests, and he knows that Wanda is this scared kid who doesn't even know yet her full extent. She doesn't even know her full extent. All this stuff, and be like, you can't treat her. And then when you see what they do to her later, when they do capture her, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're doing exactly what he feared they were gonna do in tying her up the way she did. And she literally didn't do anything wrong, guys. That's the whole thing. Yes, she's extremely powerful, I get it, but like, she saved Cap's life, and she tried to save everyone else's life, and it just so happened to blow up at the wrong spot and wrong time. But she's not an evil person.
No.
And they're treating her like she is the gun in the room. Like, no, just leave her be. But anyways, to the point where Tony has her locked up in the Avengers campus and has sacked Ultron, has sacked Vision on her to keep her in line or keep her there. And I like that you see the little bit of thing that they start going on. It is a little creepy just because you know he's a robot, but whatever. It's comic accurate, so I'm gonna give it that.
Yeah, I am okay with it.
Yeah, she is messed up anyways, so she's in love with a robot. But he has feelings for her too. That's anyways. That doesn't ruin anything of the movie because, like I said, it's comic accurate, and I enjoyed them later on in the franchise. But their scenes together are really cool too, to be honest. But yeah, it's just that's the wrap up that scene between Tony and Steve. That is something that was really well written.
It's so good
and really well acted on both of their parts.
And I love this escape thing. This is how he gets out, and he's reading that thing. He busts through the glass, and he's the soldier, and he's ready to go. And Tony's fearless, man. I like that he's got that Iron Man hand, but he gets right up in his face. Like, he gets right up in the action with him. He gets thrown around, but like, Tony's gonna get in the dirt. You know, Tony's no one to mess with, and I think I like that too about him.
I love them.
Like that about him.
I love the moment when all the lights go dark and it's just the emergency lights, and Sharon says exactly where to go, and they start running, and all you see is them running behind T'Challa, like with his necklace, the Black Panther necklace. Like, how obvious can you be, dude? Looking around and be like, oh, they're going. I must be going too.
Yeah,
like that is so cool. It's so minute, but it plays up.
It's there though.
Yeah, it's so good.
And then of course this whole thing with the helicopter, Steve grabs it. Shows off. Chris Evans, man, the shape of his life. Oh my God.
Oh, that is so good.
Yeah, I love it.
You demonstrating his strength, but also seeing Bucky's face looking at him, and because mind you, he's under mind control at that moment, but it's those little things that help get him out of it eventually.
That's right.
That it's so cool. And they're both trying to capture him for two different reasons. Tony's trying to capture him to bring him back into that thing and just, stop him. Steve's trying to stop him from like hurting people, but also to like break out of there too.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's wild. Yeah.
It's so wild.
Oh, and when he's under mind control, he is ruthless.
Oh,
He's what a
yes.
scary individual that guy is. Like, even when he turned the helicopter into Steve, like this, it's just like, oh my God, dude, you are a scary individual.
I am happy that they followed up this film from Winter Soldier with him making it more of a justifiable reason for his actions as the Winter Soldier they didn't just make him this complicated bad guy that has to go through some emotional trauma and that's it. No, they literally brainwashed this guy, showed how they brainwashed him. And that's because it keeps Bucky's character still morally north.
That's right.
Because this right here that we're seeing on our screen right now, this is Bucky just fleeing them.
Yeah.
But then when you get to the prison breakout scene,
that's Soldier Bucky.
That's Winter Soldier Bucky. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. I'm on team myself. Really. There. Anyways.
So let's bust into this Spider-Man scene.
Is that in this third act?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, that is. Oh,
well, you know what else is in this third act? The airport scene.
This is, isn't it?
Oh
my gosh. Okay, yeah. Let's.
This is wild. So let's go to Spider-Man right now, right off the bat. Holy cow!
I love. I'm trying to remember how they introduced that in particular. Something where Natasha's talking to Tony, and Tony says, "Oh, I got people, or I know people."
Natasha says, "I do too," and he's like, "Where's yours?" She was downstairs. Where's yours? He's Queens.
Yes, and then you cut the Queens. And by the way, I love how they cut between these scenes, just to throw that out there real quick, where it shows the city or the place, and it's in big white letters. Queens. Like, in case you can't figure it out, it's right there.
Which they do again in both the Avengers movies.
Like, yes.
New York City in the year. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I love that staple they have.
So good. Anyways, that whole Spider-Man introduction scene.
Genius. It's funny. Yes. It's fun. He hasn't been Spider-Man that long. Like a few months, right?
And
I love that Tony's like onto him,
Yeah.
It is.
It makes complete sense. He would know. Tony would know.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love meeting Peter like this as just a young kid that couldn't believe it. I like that he's, like Stark and wants to be part of the thing. I think it's smart. Because even Peter goes into this airport scene. He doesn't even know why he's there. He's just there because, Tony didn't tell him all the details. He just said, just know we're going after Cap. And this is what we're doing. And he's probably going to try to talk you out of it.
Yeah.
He goes, but just know that I'm right. And you don't need to know any other details. And that's kind of how he goes about it. Because Peter's not picking a side in this. He's just, he's there with Tony. You know what I mean? Like, in fact, I think if Peter knew more details, he'd actually be on Cap's side, to be honest with you, if it come down to it.
But, probably, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, if it was like the Peter now would be like, no, wait a minute, this isn't right. But this young Peter just looking up at Tony, I mean, I love this, getting these people together. I like that. I like that Aunt May is a young, good-looking Marissa Tomei. And it just plays with Tony. Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, for both of them. Tom Holland's an unknown, but he is Peter. Like, to a degree.
Right off the bat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And Marissa Tomei, legacy actress right there. Like, great eye candy, too, to be his aunt's. Like, oh, my gosh. I know what Uncle Ben died now. He died from a heart attack looking at her every day. Like, oh, my gosh, you're just so beautiful.
Well, this sets up great jokes with Tony because it's just Tony. So
yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't even...
He can't help but to flirt a little.
Yes. You're hot in out there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so good. That whole conversation of them in his bedroom. And Tony knows where his suit is, and he's complimenting him on the strength of the webbing that he makes it, and he's shocked. And the joke of Tom saying, "I can't go to Germany. I got algebra." He's like, "I'm gonna act like you didn't just say that."
Yeah.
Like,
I love their dynamic together.
Their chemistry is
move
good
your leg.
together.
I'm gonna sit there now.
Yeah.
It's like just because he's just like so awkward. I laughed out loud too when he hits the web on his hand on the door, and it's okay. He goes, "Can you just help me with this?" Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, you can't tell Aunt May. Don't you tell Aunt May. And
yeah,
he's like,
"All right."
just give me out this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's so,
Yeah.
that is
It's so funny.
one of the best character introduction scenes.
Yeah, and they just
For
did
dialogue.
yeah, they just did one like 10
It's
minutes earlier.
Yeah. Yes.
And it was good.
Yeah.
Here's another good one, by the way.
They were like, let's pick all these characters, and what's the best way we could introduce the characters? And that's what we're doing. With Russo
Yeah.
brothers are behind some of these. Introducing Falcon and Winter Soldier. Perfect. Introducing Black Panther in Civil War and Spider-Man in Civil War.
They doubled down on 2 risky moves. 2 big characters. They doubled down. Let's just do it.
Yep.
Do it.
Yep.
Just do it.
They didn't
See what
overthink.
happens.
They just did it.
Just do it.
And
Yep. And
Oh.
it was perfect.
beautiful.
Because now we got to talk about this airport scene.
Oh, yes. And to
Scott
mention
showing up.
to something that you had said a couple minutes ago, that if Peter knew more of what the whole fight and the conflict was about, he'd probably be on Cap's side. I like that they didn't do that,
Me too.
because in the comics, one of the biggest things is that that's the first time Peter Parker reveals himself to the world, and he's registered with Iron Man on that
Oh,
side.
interesting.
But of course, you're just introducing Peter, so you can't reveal him to the world when he doesn't even have this iconic Spider-Man suit yet until here. But they did a nod to the comics by making it where Tony recruits him.
Interesting.
So that was chef's kiss in doing that.
Yeah.
So good.
It's a great idea.
It's a great way to blend both, complement the comics while also tell your own version of it. So good. The Russo brothers, they definitely, them and Stephen McFeely, I believe, was one of the writers, all of them that are behind this. They did their homework for this movie. They were like, if we're going to tell the storyline and we can't do exactly what the comic book could do with all the characters, and this would probably be its own 3-arc movie, to be honest. It's how big of a story the Civil War is, the comic. This is the best way to do it. Yeah. Anyways, airport scene.
Yeah.
And they get who was it? Falcon gets Ant-Man.
Yep.
What's up, Tic Tac?
Yep. I love that.
Paul Rudd is hilarious when he's like, "You're Captain America. I know you. You're good too. You're Captain America." Then he feels his pecs.
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Like, Paul Rudd is so good.
He's definitely the comic relief for this moment, for this whole thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, he does such a good job making it feel awkward, but yet still real funny.
Yeah. And there's and it's literally right before actually the airport scene. I'm sorry, we're dancing around it, but there's so much. I'm trying to remember each piece as it goes up.
Yeah.
And this is something I wrote, and I did this on purpose because it's not like an obvious best character moment, but I wrote this as my best character moment for Act 2, and that's Hawkeye recruiting Wanda. That scene.
Yeah, I considered that. Yeah.
I know that not a lot of people would even think about that too much because there's a lot of bigger things happening around there. But just for character moments, it's a nice nod to Age of Ultron, him and Wanda's relationship, and him coming out of retirement, so to speak, to be like, nah, screw the government. I'm on Cap's side. I'm going to help him out there. You know, that's a big risk he did.
Yeah.
And even though I just pitched a couple minutes, about an hour ago, how evil he is, he's not evil, thankfully. But it's a good scene. It's a great scene of him recruiting Wanda, and Wanda still hesitating, not knowing would she be okay or not. And then how he was able to, Hawkeye can't beat Vision.
No.
But he tries.
Yeah, Hawkeye definitely gives his best.
Yep.
I like when he tries to kick him and he goes right through him. It's like,
Yep.
It's like, oof, poor guy. Like,
and then I love the Wanda does make that ultimate decision. This is my time to leave. I'm going to leave. And she buries Vision. Like, he goes down.
It's pretty hardcore, actually.
Like, and you watch it. It's a long scene of him going,
yeah.
Like, what the heck?
Pretty wild.
So I wrote that as my best character moment for Hawkeye in particular, recruiting Wanda, because that was pretty cool. For me, at least, knowing their dynamic. But yeah, airport scene.
Yeah.
We're finally there. Okay. What are your thoughts?
So, like, what a great moment in this movie, in any movie, really, of a fight battle scene that it is like people, it's like brothers fighting. Like, no one's meant to really get hurt. No one's meant to die. They just need to lose. And it's such a weird fight to see in the MCU because it's always like dire. It's always like, hardcore. And this is like, these people could really, really, really hurt each other.
Mhm.
And they're doing their best to not hurt each other, but yet still hurt each other at the same time. And it's just it's like a song. And it goes from mild fighting to a little worse, to a little worse, to a little worse, to Rhodey flying into the ground.
Yep.
Right? And it's like, and some of the escalations are comedic, and some of the escalations are on purpose.
Mhm.
I like that at first it's just Cap going out there as like to get, because he knows they're going to show up, so he goes out there and baits them, and they show up, and then they have this talk, and everything happens, and they have this fight for a little while, and then Spider-Man's there, and the whole thing goes down, and I just like that it escalates. I like how it escalated, where it escalated, how the fights went off on their own different little spots.
Mhm.
The pair-ups of them were perfect for what they were doing, and they just seamlessly put in character moments with the fight of this epic battle, like you mentioned in the history thing. It's not just a big epic fight. These are very serious character moments as well,
Mhm.
and funny at the same time. It's like Spider-Man stuff is great.
Mm.
It's one of my, I'm gonna say I have several best character moments.
Yeah.
One of my best character moments is I love this interaction between Steve and Spider-Man.
Yes.
When like, where are you from? And that whole thing. I'm like, that is awesome. I just like that it's like, hey, we're fighting, but we're still, like I'm
Mhm.
not, there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
between us, but I can't let you win. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
and I love that that's how that is. And I love that so much. I like Spider-Man fighting Falcon and
Bucky.
Bucky at the same time,
Yeah.
because they're just like, "What is that?" Like, they don't know what
Yeah.
to think of that whole thing. And Spider-Man whoops their ass. Like I love it so much.
When Falcon says, I don't know how many what is it? I'm trying, let me get this right. I don't know how many fights you've been in, but there's usually not this much talking.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
And then when he's got them both pinned down, he's just, I hate you to Bucky.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I like that them between each other is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like they're just like they're buddies, but they're not. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay.
It's actually, it's a great example of when like a popular guy has two best friends,
Mhm.
and when they're together, almost like we're friends because we have to be.
Yeah, we're
type
friends
thing.
because we're both friends of him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. They exemplified that really well.
Yeah. And I love that Scott's like, here, throw this at this. And
Yes.
it blows up. He's like, I thought it was a water truck. Like,
Yeah.
it's just neat that, see, in this fight, it's like Cap even looks at him like, geez, dude, like, don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, they don't mean to get rough,
Mhm.
but it kind of keeps getting there slowly, right?
Yeah.
And I love him turning into Giant Man. This is one of
Oh.
my favorite. I put that as another character moment.
That
It's
is-
just so cool. It's
That is, in my opinion, after just fresh off the heels of the Ant-Man movie, that was a risk that they did, but it paid off
It's
so well.
awesome.
Because
Yeah.
that's a big deal in the comic book of Giant Man fighting. And the fact that they were able, that's what I love about this movie so much, is that even though I think what they must have in the writer's room thought, well, we can't do this book, but we're going to take the best parts of this book and throw that into this
Yeah.
movie and make it work. Because
Makes me
every
read that even more
bit.
now. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love him as Giant Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I love him going in the Iron Man suit, messing with his suit. Like this whole is just
Mm-hmm.
from beginning to end of this battle. It's
Mm.
just phenomenal. Like, even up to Rhodey getting hurt. It's like, and both Falcon and Tony are going for him.
Mhm.
And I do like that partway through this battle, they're like, Steve, we're not going to win this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now it's just a matter of you got to get away
Mm-hmm.
with Bucky. And like, I like that aspect come out. I enjoy that so much. And it just it complicates the whole thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. I
But
love it
this-
so much.
I tell you, this movie it came out the best time it came out, because when you look at some of these characters, especially Wanda and Vision in particular, those two, Vision already is formidable enough, but if you got to Wanda at that point, Steve would have walked away with the whole team, hands down, because at that point
Oh,
of how
yeah.
amplified her powers were.
Yeah.
But this came at just the right time where not only were you just introduced to her, this is where you get a real good first taste of what Wanda
Yeah.
is.
Well, and that, and like, even if they did have their full potential, they're really not trying to hurt each other,
Mhm.
but yet they kind of are, right? Like, so
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, it's exactly what you described. It's this
yeah,
dance around of, I need to stop you, but you're still my friend. I'm not gonna hurt
right,
you.
right,
That's why when Black Widow and Hawkeye were fighting, Wanda telekinetically grabbed Black Widow's leg and threw her against the thing, and she said, "You're pulling your punches." Be
yeah,
like, yeah, he is, because he doesn't want to hurt
right,
Natalie, but at
right.
the same time, like,
But it makes that impact of Rhodey hitting the ground. Even now, you're like, oh shit,
yeah, yeah.
like, oh no, yeah, all of them are like,
I will
oh
say that
no,
if they did not do that, it wouldn't have felt as dire, in my opinion. Like, because of what you said, that they were dancing around this fighting each other thing, and they had pretty good moments, of course, great character moments between each other. They were only able to have those great character moments, though, because they were literally pulling their punches on a lot of this
yeah.
stuff. But it upped the stakes with Vision, with Falcon dropping when he did, and Rhodey getting hurt the way he did.
It all speaks to character
Mm-hmm.
because it also shown that even though Vision's like this machine, he emotionally got compromised
Mm-hmm.
and turned and did that blast out of anger.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being,
Yep.
like, it's like, wow, it's just a build on all of their characters as you
Mm-hmm.
go. I do love in the beginning of this whole fight thing before they start fighting. Tony is just so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Don't you see how hard I'm trying to not
Yeah.
do this?" You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I do give a lot of credit to him in that, like, where he doesn't want this, but he's going with it, and I think he's going with it because I think his guilt definitely takes over. But Rhodey, we'll talk a little later about why Rhodey's doing it, because I think he's got Rhodey's kind of right in some ways. They're not right about being on that side of the whole thing, but I see where his mind is at for it. Whether I still wouldn't be on his side though. So the pacing held up for me.
Yes.
It got better, if anything.
Oh, yes.
The only other character moment that I really can't help but to point out in this act is definitely with the pens between them 2,
Mm-hmm.
because that's essential, because without that scene, the later scene in Act 3, the big one, wouldn't feel as important either.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to see how these two people interact, how Tony feels to him, how he feels to Tony, how they do mutually feel, but also where those differences still lie.
Yeah.
You need to see those clearly.
Mm.
What didn't work for me is Wanda can lose the accent. Just be done with it. But that's not even a problem.
Yeah, she doesn't.
I'm just saying, anytime it does show up in it, I'm like, just stop. We don't care. You don't need to have that accent no more.
Yeah.
No
Well,
one
it
remembers.
just
And eventually it just kind of goes away.
it goes away, and then
Like, but there's a
rare
couple times in
times.
this, I'm like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Stop doing it. Yeah.
Her accent, and I love that they joke about it later in the WandaVision show,
Yeah.
that they could come and go. It's
Yeah.
almost like, oh, we forgot she has to have an accent, so let's give her one dialogue that has it, just to remind you she's got it. But
They
at the
could have
same
went
time,
back and dubbed it out, and would have been just as happy
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
but like you said, that's picking nits because it didn't take away anything.
Nothing. Yeah.
So yeah. Oh gosh, guys. So I didn't have anything on here that didn't work for me. This is
And I just put that because I felt like I had to pick something.
yeah, because I'm just staring right now at a blank spot. What didn't work? Nothing didn't work. It was wow. It's just, what an act. What, oh Jesus, only the second act.
So what's your score on Act 2?
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, me too. 10 out of 10.
I tell you, this is Marvel at its peak. This is
Dangerously.
Yes, they. If you thought, and we'll get to there when we get there, but Russo brothers staying around to do this stuff, they found their secret sauce in Winter Soldier, and
Yeah.
how do you make it better? Holy smokes, what they did! This was a risk. Guys, if you didn't remember, when they did the San Diego Comic-Con announcement for Phase 3, they put up a fake title that said Captain America Serpent Society. And
I
then
remember this.
at the very end, after they announced Doctor Strange was coming, Spider-Man Solo was coming, a Captain Marvel was finally coming, different things like that. And then it was going to end with Infinity War Part 1 and 2 at the time. Then they did a special announcement and they said, let's fix one of these titles. And they changed it to Captain America Civil War and brought Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans out on stage. Everyone lost their minds. I would have been happy with a Serpent Society movie. I still want that, to be honest.
That would have been cool. Yeah, it would have been cool. Yeah.
And directed by the Russo brothers? Heck yeah. But to do this was ambitious. And so far, we're just at the end of Act 2. It's paying off. So now let's get to Act 3.
Yeah, go ahead, read her up.
Okay, guys, Act 3. Steve and Tony come to blows in the brutal final confrontation at a remote Hydra facility in Siberia. Steve chooses loyalty to Bucky over the team, while Tony, devastated by the truth about his parents, attacks in rage. After an emotional and physical fight, Steve defeats Tony and leaves the shield behind, symbolically ending his role as Captain America for now. Zemo's plan succeeds in fracturing the Avengers permanently. He is captured, but his goal of breaking the team is achieved. The Avengers are left divided, with Steve going underground.
Oh, man.
Did this ending land for you, sir?
Well, before you even answer that, let's discuss a couple things. Let's just touch on the raft here for a second.
Oh.
Why the hell do we not see this again? It needs to come back. I love the raft. I think the raft is a cool concept. I think it still needs to be around. But this is definitely where Tony realizes he was wrong.
I think if I remember right, we see it later on, but it's only
glimpses and stuff.
We
need scenes in this freaking thing. Yeah. Because this thing is cool as hell. But this is where Tony definitely realizes he was wrong. When he sees them all, and he even tells them, because you guys don't belong here. This is not what I thought was going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how they're all just like, yeah, whatever, Stark, and even what's his face, Paul Rudd, just like, yeah, Hank Pym always said never trust a Stark.
Yep. They all get such good dialogue, such good lines.
It's awesome, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Hawkeye's character egging him on like that, be like, oh, it's so good. It's so good.
And this is when Steve sends him that information. Look, it's not even Bucky in this video. And that Steve's like, or not Steve, but Tony's like, shit, he's right. And he says, send it to Ross. You know what I mean?
If I remember right, it's his AI Friday defines
that's right.
It's Joe Russo who plays
that's right, yeah,
the guy that died, so to speak. They were supposed to interrogate Bucky and all that stuff, and it's on Tony's way to the raft. He finds that out, and he doesn't reveal it to Ross.
No,
smart,
yeah,
very smart. But
he keeps away everything. It's so far away from. He keeps it arm's length with Ross,
and he has to convince Falcon that I want to help him now. You have 2 minutes while they can't hear anything.
It is convincing. It's convincing.
Yeah. Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
And it leads to, it might be my top 3 favorite Iron Man suiting up scenes.
Yes.
I freaking love it when he pushes a button in the helicopter and it just sits back. And and the emotional aspect of it too. I'm just like, yes.
As he pushes the button, it's going up his hand and he goes back like, oh, it's so cool.
So cool, yeah. It's so awesome. To come up with that, that's so smart. Oh, I love it so much. Oh my God, please, yes.
And then I love as he's flying away, Black Panther's trailing him.
Yep.
He's like, I'm going to get this guy.
He's like, I'm going to follow them. These guys know what they're doing. They're going to find him for me, and I'm going to kill him.
So good. So good. All right.
This choice when they get there, too.
Oh.
This choice for Zemo to kill the super soldiers.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Go ahead on that.
I think I told you about this
you did
in the lead up to the podcast, but just so everyone else is aware, and this is coming from the Russo brothers directly. About 2 months before they started filming the whole movie, and everything is, still going through the pre-production process and all that stuff, and Marvel is still in the midst of the Civil War thing. This was the tipping point where they did the management change because Ike Perlmutter and his team in New York did not like that they were going to kill those super soldiers. They wanted a super soldier battle.
Ugh.
And the Russo brothers said, that's not the story we want to tell. And so they threatened to walk away from the film, which was a big deal because at that time, their critically highest rated movie of all of them, including the Avengers movies, was Winter Soldier because of how good, and you watch or listen to our retrospectives, you would know, guys, that's how good
We loved it.
it
Yeah.
was. Yes. So Bob Iger, head of Disney, personally brought the Russo brothers into his office and said, "Why are you going to leave? What's the tension? And who do you report to? What's the whole thing?" And they said, "This is the story that we want to tell." And to be honest, we communicate 99% of the time with Kevin Feige. And so Bob Iger made that decision at Disney to do the management restructure, cut off the Marvel Entertainment aspect of it, and made Marvel Studios its own independent lane in the company, and said, "You report directly to me now." And it was because Bob Iger and Kevin Feige had a great relationship. It was the best decision because it kept the Russo brothers there to make this creative decision. And as you're just about to talk about, that is brilliant.
This movie would not be as good if it ended with this big super soldier.
It would have been a generic superhero
It'd have been
movie.
the safe way out.
Yes, and no, you didn't need a safe way out.
Nope.
This movie is doing so good already.
It still needed to be between them.
Yes.
Make it Civil War still between them.
Yes.
And it's so brilliant. When he kills them, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Because it makes it feel unpredictable, feels fresh, feels new. It feels like we don't see this. This is not the risk that they usually take. I can't get over how much I'm so glad that he did this and they had that done.
Yeah, and to have Zemo having Tony watch that scene.
First of all, this whole I laughed out loud when he calls Bucky the Manchurian Candidate. He goes, Manchurian Candidate, you could put the gun down now. I love that because that's all about mind control, that movie.
Yeah.
It's just so perfect. Yeah. And so that right there in Tony's humor, Steve realizes, oh, he knows. You know what I mean? Now he knows. If Steve knows that movie, because Steve probably hadn't. But anyway, you know what I mean? Like in that, though, we knew as an audience, now Tony realizes that Bucky's been mind controlled, so he gets it, Yeah, this interaction between when he puts that video on to make Tony watch it, and Steve is watching Tony and not the video because he knows what's happening. Oh my God. I don't understand. I can't put into words that this last half hour of this movie elevates this movie into a whole different way. Not only does it elevate the movie itself and the MCU, but this last half hour solidifies the rest of the movie and elevates it be above the superhero genre, in my opinion. It just turned into pure perfection of exactly what you thought was going to happen. Now, we're all on Steve's side. We know Steve's right in the right here. But there's not one person that doesn't understand why Tony loses his mind.
Yes.
And you're almost like...
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel as helpless as they do in the movie. And that right there is freaking brilliant. I really am like, what can I don't want... he killed your mom. Like, Tony knew his dad was into stuff. He understood as he got older that, well, Dad, if that was just a video of my dad dying, you could talk him off the ledge with that. Because, hey, your dad knew the risks. And yeah, it may have been him that did it, but it wasn't really him because they just used him. And you could have talked Tony down. But seeing his mom die that way, that's it for Tony. That's it. It don't matter now. It's personal now.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter. And then there's this entire fight. You're almost like, I don't know who I want to win.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know Tony can't because he's going to kill him. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to do
No,
that.
but
We know that's not going to happen.
But how they get to that point?
You can almost are just like, I get it. I get it, dude. Like, I get it. Like, the pain, the acting here. Oh, my God. This is so freaking good, man. Like,
yes. Hands down. To your point, they knew how they wanted to end this battle, how they wanted to end the movie, basically, with this. So
and we haven't gotten to the very end yet. Yeah. This is just this part, but yeah, you're right.
But for the battle in particular, they knew they want Steve to walk away and not be killed by Tony, or Tony be killed by him, vice versa. So now it's just, how do they creatively tell this fighting story among the three of them, with Becky.
Becky
trying to Bucky trying to escape. Sorry,
I got you.
Well, Bucky trying to escape. It's so good.
Oh yeah, because it is literally like them scrambling. Like,
oh yeah, he's trying to get up to the top, and then when Tony says, "I'll eyeball it," because he, and perfect hit, be like, "Oh no,"
he's so good, right?
Like,
and this shows how formidable Tony is.
Oh my!
There's that shot when he's fighting them both at the same time.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, he's hardcore. I mean, you guys don't sleep on Tony, man. Like, when he's on, he's on. And that's why I love one of my other favorite fight scenes in the MCU ever is between him and Thanos. I know he loses it, but you're just like, go Tony, like he's gonna try, and he gives it all he's got. Yeah, it's like,
but it's worth it.
I don't care. It was awesome, right? Like, and that's just like this here. I felt the same way here. It's like, and then he's just like, he's kicking our ass, and he's just like, well, analyze his fight pattern, and then let's kick his ass.
Yeah.
And then he does. Like, he just whoops his ass. I'm like, oh my God, dude, the Iron Man's cool as shit. He's the Batman of this universe. You know what I mean? Like, he's just gonna get it done. And honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that the suit does have its limits, he would have had them both. He'd have beat them both into the ground. And I do like that Steve gives him the I could do this all day line.
Yeah.
We needed that line. It was there. It's so good. It happened. It was with them too. I love it. And I do like this whole, that shield's not yours. My dad made that shield. It's not your shield.
So he drops it and leaves it for him then.
The emotional reason to leave it. It's not this whole, I'm not going to be Cap because I'm mad about what's happened to the school.
Yeah.
There's an emotional reason why it's left.
He's doing it as a way to heal Tony.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, then you have it.
And what's even more wild is Cap doesn't get that shield back until Endgame.
Yes. But
isn't that wild to just think in your head?
But
right now when you think about that, it's perfect, but it's wild to think.
Yeah.
That it's that whole time, like, that's what makes us so. It really is genius. It really is genius. So when you ask me, did the ending land? So let's go right to the ending. I love, that Cap sends him a letter with the phone. And says, hey, if you need me, I'll be there. It's so sincere.
Yep.
And Tony, he takes it right in. And I love the ending of movies, guys, when it ends like with a punch. When a movie ends with like oh, bam, there you go. I'm like, yes. And when he comes out of the dark in the raft there, I'm like, yes. And then the music starts. I'm like, this is an ending to a freaking movie, man. Like, this is an ending to a movie. Yeah, I want you to talk about, I got a couple things I want to say about 100% for sure, but you go ahead and talk about those things you like in that before I go too long and kick you out of the conversation.
That's okay.
I love this ending. I love the way they handled it. I love it. I love it so much.
It's so brilliant.
Yes.
That it's only three, well, to a degree, three characters, but even like, okay, you see what happens to everyone at the very, very end after this battle, where they all are and everything. And I almost touched on the post-credit scene. I don't want to say that yet. Or wait. It's just that fight. I loved every bit of that fight between all of them. Whenever Tony was trying to get the upper hand and almost succeeding a couple times at getting the upper hand on Bucky, and Steve would step in, and Steve would go so far as break one of his feet, blasters,
Mhm.
so he had a hard time even flying up. Like, oh, it's so good. It's
He
just,
blasts Bucky's arm off.
oh yes, what that? I think it was the chest.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that was something.
It's wild.
That was mind blowing. That Tony would have won
If it wasn't for the limits of the suit.
yes, limits of the suit
Yep.
and the resilience of Steve.
That's right.
Steve knew that they would have died, so he fought with all his might to
Mhm.
keep that happening. And even when Steve took the shield up and you thought, oh, is he going to decapitate him? Like, that's how close it looked like it was
Yeah.
getting. And then he just did it just to break the shield, to be like, I'm disabling you. I don't want to hurt you. I just need to stop you from killing my friend.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good.
That
It's
line too.
masterpiece.
Tony, he's my friend. He goes, so was I.
Yep.
It's like, oh my God.
Mm.
This is just hardcore.
It's so, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So that, oh, and we get that iconic image that we saw in the comics of Steve and Tony blasting each other, and it didn't look corny, it didn't look cheesy or rushed like we had to do this. It just looked like a natural progression of the fight, and they just slowed it down just enough so you got the full impact of that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was such a feast to see visually.
Yeah,
Oh,
it added to the emotion. It
Yeah.
slowed it down because it was emotional too at the same
Yes.
time. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, so good. And I love that Zemo was about to kill himself.
Yep.
He did what he wanted them to do. He wanted to fracture them. He wanted them to pay for what they did in Sokovia to his family. And that was his motivation. And he hated Hydra. He made it clear he hated Hydra, but he also hated the Avengers.
Yep.
And it all stems back to this whole thing throughout the whole film of their accountability. And he doesn't think they were going to be held accountable and all this different stuff. And it was T'Challa that grabbed the gun when he shot it and got away from him and be like, no. And I loved that mindset transformation for T'Challa, where in the beginning he wanted to kill them for killing his father and find the Winter Soldier and take care of him and everything. And then he got it. And it wasn't, he didn't held on to it. He had this one of the things I like about T'Challa, and I think it was a little bit in Act 2, and it talks about that he talked about in Act 2, and you saw it in Act 3, that in his culture they don't believe that death was the end. And then there's a plane where they're with their ancestors and things like that, and we see that in the Black Panther film, and it really just speaks to the spirituality of T'Challa, that he has this piece that he can see the logic when it happens.
Mhm.
And he can read the room, and he knows when I'm supposed to be angry and who I'm supposed to be angry to. He doesn't let rage get the better of him.
Mhm.
And that was shown beautifully in that moment there, where he even made sure Zemo, I'm trying to remember his exact words to him, but he said, "Today is not the day that you meet your maker," or something like that. Something, I don't think meet your maker,
The
but
living isn't finished with
yeah,
you.
the living isn't finished with you yet.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good of a line. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that definitely shown that he's got what it takes to be a king.
oh, yes.
Like he's in charge now because he is now, and he's measured and he
Mhm.
knows what he's doing. He knows when it's important to keep your cool and when it's not.
Mhm.
And he recognized, he goes, you're consumed by vengeance, and so are they. He
Mhm.
goes, and I won't be anymore. He recognizes when there's an end to it. Yeah, no, what great character moment for him in that, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
This
Oh.
movie does a couple things that the MCU's never done before. And at this point, and this is why it makes this movie what it is,
Mhm.
is first of all, the villain wins. And not only does the villain win, but the villain's just a guy.
No super soldiers. No
No big
powers.
he's not a big robot. He's not something from space. He's just a guy who lost a family.
Mhm.
Really. And he won.
Mhm.
He won. I like it when he says that to the Freeman character at the end there. He's like, he's seen all this fall apart. He goes, "Oh, is it though?" And he's just like, "No, Sharon, you're not right."
Mhm.
It's like, it's not, you're kind of right, That, and this also breaks a thing. This movie breaks the reputation that superhero movies have, specifically the MCU for sure, but other ones as well. Every MCU movie, every single one, maybe with the exception of one of them, I'm trying to think which one I could particularly pick, but I can't think of one. Every single one up until Civil War ends back at a staging point where we're back to some sort of norm, right? So even, obviously with the first set of the Avengers, when you meet them all, it all ends at a norm. Even Captain America, the first one, ends with him waking up and he's in New York City, and it's nowadays. And he's just Captain America, and here he is now. So all this happened, and now here you are, all that's over with. Same with Iron Man. It's like, all this happened, now I'm Iron Man, cool, ends with a norm. The Avengers, the movie, they beat the aliens, everybody's happy, everybody goes home, they're eating shawarma, it ends. You know what I mean? Age of Ultron, it just ends. Everybody, the people live, it ends, back to a norm. This movie ends in a moment of fracture of these characters. It's the first time that they ended a movie with, wait a second, this is like a to be continued feeling.
Yeah.
And the rest don't do that. You can watch them and just see that God, they do it. They're so bad sometimes that the Incredible Hulk ended where it started. It didn't even happen. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So and I'm not saying that it's a terrible thing, and other movies do it too. Even Ant-Man ends where it ends at a spot where, sure, he's now Ant-Man, but he's seeing his kid. It's like there's this a levity of, oh, that's over with and back to a norm. Not this. You know what I mean? This ends with Captain and them. They're all criminals on the run.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's like, it's just wild that they just decided to do that. And because they decided to do that, made this movie, okay, it gave the MCU now teeth as it moves forward.
Yeah.
Like, there's story here, like deep rooted story to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah. That leads me right to my biggest issue with Act 3.
Oh no.
We did
Don't
not
do this.
get an extended scene of Steve breaking those heroes out of the raft.
So you just want more.
Just like you in the first act.
Okay.
There was a great ending of seeing him knowing what he's about to do, but I wanted to freaking see that. That raft is impressive.
Yeah.
And getting those characters out the way you can imagine how he broke in and getting them out in the middle of the ocean.
He is Steve Rogers. I'm sure Bucky helped him. Bucky would have, well, no, he doesn't have an arm.
Yeah, well, no, Bucky wasn't helping him, as we'll get to our post-credit scene when we get to
we don't know when that happens. That could happen after the raft.
Maybe.
Either way.
Either way.
Arm.
He's
still weak.
limp.
And weaker. Yeah, no, I'm with you. You know what? I have to tell you, as much as I do want to see more of that, I still love the way that punchy ending of like, you know that this is what's happening. And when he comes out of the dark with that little smile, I'm like, yes.
Yep.
And he's like black. I'm like, that's cool.
I agree.
There's another movie called The Gray that ends that way. The whole movie is Liam Neeson about to fight this wolf. And at the end of the movie, he breaks these things on he puts these glass things on his hand, he tapes a knife to his hand, he gets right down, he's ready to fight the wolf. The wolf is there ready to fight him, and just as they go to fight, it goes to black and the credits start. People flip out. But like when you watch the movie, though, you realize it's not about the fight.
Yeah, and I'm
not saying that this is equal to that.
This didn't make or break it, obviously, for me, but
it was
so good that part of me was, it was just so good of a movie still up to that point.
Scene.
Yeah.
It'd be a cool scene to see. Like a director's cut of it, with that in it, would be neat. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
So
yeah. What's your best moment in Act 3? And I really wrote the whole thing, but I also put a particular moment I wanted to highlight, which I already did, was Black Panther stopping Zemo from killing himself.
So the best moment in this Act 3 is actually the best scene in the entire movie. And I'm going to talk about that specifically when we get to the other thing. But I do want to at least mention, to me, my two favorite moments beside that is definitely when Tony sees the tape. That's a great scene.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to the action part of it, I do love when he, figures out Cap's moves and starts kicking his ass. I just think it's just unique that just when you think Iron Man doesn't have any more tricks, he's got
Yeah.
one or two more, you know, and
Mhm.
he's always, as long as that suit works, he'll have a reason to keep going, you know. Yeah, but the best scene though, I'm saving for,
Okay.
it's got 2 spots later.
All right.
So
That's fine. That's fine. What's the climax earned for you?
yes.
Oh, yes. It definitely
Actually, I
was earned
said
for me.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So, if you had to rate this out of 10,
It's a 10.
it is a 10 for me too. Oh my gosh, guys, this is crazy. All right,
It's
so
wild.
post-credit scene. Why don't you read what that is?
Steve Rogers visits Bucky Barnes in Wakanda. It is revealed that Bucky has voluntarily returned to cryogenic sleep until his Hydra conditioning can be fully removed. T'Challa grants him sanctuary.
Mm.
And I think that's the only one, right?
That is the only one. There's no post-credit scene after that.
And I got to tell you, it's super important because we get Wakanda
Oh,
right off the bat. And
yeah.
it's cool that Bucky's there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they never really are clear in the future that he gets that out of his brain, truthfully.
They are in Falcon and Winter Soldier. There's one episode.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm sorry. Yep,
Yeah.
you're right.
I wish it wasn't in a TV show,
Yeah,
but
you see how
get
much
it.
I forget those shows?
Yeah.
You're right. I do remember the scene now. But, you know, yeah, cool.
Yeah, either way. Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, hype level's off the charts.
Yeah.
Oh, there is another post-credit scene.
Is there?
It's the Spider-Man one. Remember, he's laying on his bed and he's looking at the thing that Tony gave him that came with his suit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's just a funny one.
Okay.
But it just makes us
yes.
want to see this. We actually get to see more of an interaction between him and Aunt May,
Okay.
and it made us go. We realized how awesome this.
Oh yeah,
Spider-Man
doesn't
movie
she
can
ask
be.
him how to go and something like how it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah,
then.
'cause, yeah, she's like, who punched you again?
Yep.
She goes, yeah, the one guy
Yes.
was really, really big. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
she goes,
Yes. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and yeah, so it's more funny, but it also gave us a taste of, we're gonna love this Spider-Man movie.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, it's like
to that regard, yes, it is hype is 100%. I love that their post-credit scenes were related to the 2 new characters that we are
Yes.
gonna get. They're 2 different flavors of the MCU that we desperately needed.
Yep, it's a great opportunity to give them a little more time on the screen.
Yes.
Yep, perfect. Yeah,
Oh.
because they're brand new, and we get a good quick shot of like the Wakanda wilderness, and we can see their lab there is high tech, but yet they're still in the woods like that. I do like what he says. It's like, they can see them try. When they say,
Yes.
they'll come for him if they find out. And he's just like, yeah, I'd like to see him
Yeah.
try.
Oh.
Which, yeah, I'd like to see him try because they're not getting in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's wild.
Yeah, exactly. So score for me, 10 out of 10 for the post-credit
Same,
scenes.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Awesome.
Here's where it gets tough.
Okay. All right, guys. So we're gonna expand this a little bit more when we're going into our casting and performances, character deep dives. I gave this to Ike beforehand because we wanted to talk about each character and whether we like them or don't like them, because this is the movie where you pick the sides. And so I kind of put these on our review form as like Cap team, Iron Man team, back and forth. And so
We want to do them first, right?
yes, let's do them first, then we'll get to our best performances and all that. That way we've laid the groundwork of what we think of each character, and then we can say how we feel about their performance-wise.
Okay.
All right, so
These are quick, too. I didn't write. I kind of did them in a bullet, so we
Yep.
go fast.
Yep. All right, so why don't you start off? Steve Rogers, Captain America. Did you like him or didn't like him, and
Yep.
why?
So Steve Rogers, Captain America, I liked him, obviously. And it's because he's right, guys. It's what he said. Those things that he said. So we can't people overseeing us. They might send us somewhere we shouldn't go, or they might send us somewhere that we should go. And we need to be the ones in charge of that. And he's known that since the 40s, and he's not wrong about it until now. He's still not wrong about it. Even in the end. Right up until we get to Doomsday, he's not wrong about it.
Yep.
So
I agree with you. I like him. And to piggyback off what you just said, because I agree with everything you said, he also said people change, agendas change.
That's right.
And he sees what a government is like, good and bad. He fought for America against a bad government and Hydra Nazi soldiers.
Mhm.
Like, he sees what happens when government agendas change. And yeah, so I agree with you. Doing this from his perspective, brilliant choice. And he keeps his moral high ground the whole time.
Yep, the whole time.
So yes,
Like a
I
tree.
like him too.
Yep.
Yeah, like a tree.
Like a
you
tree.
move. Yeah. All right. Tony Stark, Iron Man. Do you like him or don't like him?
Love him in this. He right off the bat, I like the new technology stuff. The thing with Barf is awesome. I do like that they touched on the Pepper Potts thing. I think they realized we got to at least mention this because whatever's going on, it's got to just say the name, show
Amen.
that she's not there, and I'm happy. It's all I need, and it's just perfect. This is emotionally more his movie. Believe it or not.
Yes.
And like I believe his position. As much as I disagree with his position, I see where he's coming from because it does play to his biggest weakness, which is guilt. And he's in the worst spot in his life right now with Pepper and him being on the ropes. Life's not too good. This woman comes and puts a face to these kids. All he's going to do is feel guilty, and this is what he's going to do. And I like that he changes his mind. But I also understand why he wasn't going to let that slide about his mom.
Yeah, and to your point there, it was very important that they had that dialogue of mentioning that he and Pepper are on a break.
So
Because
important.
that instantly gave you the weight of what he is personally going through.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't mention it, like in Age of Ultron, if they didn't mention it, you've been like, why are you so upset?
Mm-hmm.
You have Pepper. Like, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's those little details that people can easily overlook really capture the essence of what they're trying to portray and what they're doing. They're justifying their actions.
Oh, and it's all character build.
Yeah, all
Even
character.
Steve
Yep.
shows in that using that same line of where Pepper is
Mm.
you're able to let Steve show how much he cares about Tony.
Yep.
By his reaction to it. It's what the hell, man? How just in 2 seconds of lines. Like the other directors should be watching this and taking freaking notes, man.
Oh, so good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So I completely agree with you there for Tony. It definitely emotionally is his movie. Emotionally is his movie.
It's so weird that it's both their movie, but still more Cap's movie at the same
right?
time.
Yes.
But they still held that.
It's
just
like
right.
they're making Iron Man the antagonist here, but at the same time, he's not that bad of an antagonist. You know, it's
Well, there's
just an ideological difference.
Right,
That's it.
right.
They still care about each other. It's
Mhm.
just they are just two different people and their way of thinking. So it's perfect for them. I love that because it really shows you don't have to get along with your friends all the time. You
Mhm.
know? Oh, anyways, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier. Do you like him or don't like him?
Liked him in this a lot. It definitely so there wasn't a lot of character development really in this for him because it was a lot of just keeping him alive. But
Yeah.
it just shows how good Sebastian Stan is in this. And the moment of character development that he has, which is all you needed to do, was in the stairwell when Steve realized when he says, I'm not gonna kill nobody. This is you realize, okay, this guy is like it's just perfect. It's Sebastian is awesome for this role. But this is when I really fell in love with Bucky, to be honest with you. This is not that I didn't like him in the others. I loved him in Winter Soldier as well. But this is when I was really like, man, this guy's. I can't wait to see what.
Well, this is when you're rooting for him.
More so.
Yeah.
That's right. You're
Because
right.
the last time you saw him was in Winter Soldier and you felt bad for him because you know.
But he was the bad guy.
But he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
This one, he's now, you understand, he's not the bad guy by choice.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy because this is what they made him into. And Steve is the only one that has his back.
That's right.
Throughout the whole thing, just like he was the only one in Winter Soldier to give him the benefit of the doubt.
That's right.
He's still,
Brilliant.
so good. All right. Anyways, yeah, so I love him in this movie. Amazing. All right. Rhodey, War Machine. Like him, didn't like him.
I like him. He makes a decision. The decision he makes is basically because he sees the writing on the wall. That if we don't do it, they're going to make us. And he thinks it's a worse war going that way than the other way. I don't necessarily agree with him, but he does make a decision and he sticks to it. And I think he's funny in this. I think he's very formidable in this. And he, in this fight scene in this airport that we're kind of seeing on the screen right now, he
Mhm.
becomes the heart of the whole, oh my God, someone almost died, and he got hurt.
Mhm.
So there was a price to pay in this, which is a great scene at the end of the movie when he's like, yeah, this is a bad beat.
Mhm.
You know, like, this is bad, man. It's like, I'm not gonna probably gonna tough if I even walk again someday. And it's like,
Mhm.
the stakes were there and we're still there. There was still some sort of compromise to be made here, you know?
Yeah, that
Or
that whole scene at the end of, Tony helping him as he's trying to learn how to walk
mhm.
and stuff like that, and Stanley's cameo, "Tony Stank,"
Yeah, Tony
and
Stank.
he's like, "Yep, there's Mr. Stank right here."
Yeah.
That's so good. Anyways, yeah, so I do like him in this movie too. Um, Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow.
Yeah, liked her. Like you said, some of her best fighting scenes is in the beginning of this movie. Fantastic. And I liked the conversation with her and Steve throughout. I kind of at first was kind of like, man, she doesn't have much of a backbone, but I really had to do a lot of thinking about it. And I realized that she's struggling because she's trying to pick a side and be on a place to make her life better. So she's trying to stick with what's right. She ultimately does what's right in the long run, and I like that part about her character. So
Yeah, no,
I would say it's amazing part for her. It doesn't really stick out, but it is good.
I completely agree with you because she's one of those characters for this movie that you're like, why are you with him when you could be with him? Or it seems like you're trying to play both sides, but that is what Black Widow does. She plays both sides, and she makes some valid points of at least we're together as a team. If we have to all register, at least we have one hand on the wheel, and it makes sense.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's just not right to even do this to begin with. That's why when Steve holds his ground, he's like, I'm not signing it no matter what. And Wanda, of course, isn't, and all these other people that are following Captain America, they completely agree. And even at the scene that's on our screen right now with Steve about to leave and she makes that decision to shoot down Black Panther as opposed to stopping Steve, like she's she's playing the typical Black Widow card,
Yeah.
but she's doing it for the right reasons. So she's
Mhm.
still doing it as the good guy. It's just this is her way of going about it, and it to me, it makes a little
Well,
sense
she had to be
because
pushed into a corner.
she's pushed into a corner, and she's always had this struggle with her identity. Every single movie that we've seen her in, she's like just like in Winter Soldier, she found out she left the KGB for Hydra, and she didn't even realize it. And then what happened to the Avengers? She lost Bruce. So now she's got no romantic interest, and now the Avengers are fractured. She's like, I'm just trying to keep my family alive, the one I'm trying to make. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Her
to
goal with
me,
Steve to her
yeah.
might look like she's going backwards.
Hmm.
You know, because she wants to be in the government's good graces, not in the bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, but ultimately she does make the right choice. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, she does. So I like her character in this too. I agree. So Sam Wilson, Falcon.
Yeah, I liked him in this. He played his part. Mostly comedic relief, was the sidekick, was there for Steve. Nothing really outstanding in my opinion though for him. But I did like him in it.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, nothing really standoutish to me other than Cap's new best friend that's helping him find his other best
Yeah, and
friend.
he's gonna pick Steve's side with this anyway.
Oh yeah, because they share the same moral
Yeah,
ground.
they do.
To be honest,
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Which is why I'm so depressed that they didn't do write him better for the new Captain America
Mhm.
movie. Because they could have made it work. They dropped the ball by trying to make another Hulk movie.
Yes, I agree. They did him a disservice
Yeah.
as a character, more
Yeah, they
so.
screwed him over big time.
All right, so Vision, like him, didn't like him.
I loved him in this. I think he was awesome. I like that they had that moment at the airport where you got to see that he's struggling with this idea of emotions. And I like that he kind of even talks when he's talking to Wanda about the stone in his head. He goes, the more I try to control this thing, the more he's learning about himself. I like these moments with him because it's like it's a weird thing, right? Because he's kind of a AI, but he's kind of a machine, and it's all weird.
Yep.
But I like his positioning in this. I think he's used well,
Yes.
and not overused and not underused, like just right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he could have won all this outright himself, pretty much. But
Mm-hmm.
he even knows to be measured because they're all friends.
Yes. Yeah. I completely agree with everything you said. I think that it really started the relationship between him and Wanda on how he's developed feelings for her, and yet he still. I even love the moments where he says Mr. Stark doesn't want any more um outbursts, and it really that harkens back to the Jarvis part of the AI and him to be like he's still Mr. Stark to me. When he says those specific words, it's really cool. I love the whole dynamic there.
His individualism is slowly manifesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes sense that he would sign the Accords because of kind of what he said in the meeting,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, well, everything like this needs oversight, and it's like, well, whatever.
Yep.
Shut up, you stupid machine. Your computer.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing that I don't agree with his statistics.
Yep.
That since the Avengers came, it invites challenge. No,
Yeah.
this world was messed up already. If it wasn't for the Avengers, your world would have been gone to aliens. You would have never been Vision.
Yeah, it's amazing that hasn't happened until now.
Yeah.
Half the stuff that happens later.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Exactly.
Earth's pretty lucky that they just decided now to come.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Right? Yeah. So, but I do like him in this film. So I agree. Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch.
Yep, I liked her in this too. This was her going from being that kid to an adult in the Avengers.
Mhm.
And it just so happens to be she's got to go on the run.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Steve. This is kind of this. She's the embodiment of what he was worried about.
Yep.
Really. So you see what you're doing. This is why you can't do this.
Mhm.
Yep. And so it makes sense, obviously, that she'd be on his side. She wouldn't want that sign the Accords because she's the one everyone's afraid of.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing that Steve understands more so than anybody else is that she is not doing anything bad, yet because she is that powerful, they're treating her like she is the worst thing there. This making her, like she said in the very beginning, when he turned the TV off, she said they all hate me, and he says no, they don't, and she said, oh, they're being very descriptive if you turn that back on. Be like, yeah, that's true, because that's all they're doing is they're like, she did this, when if they took a step back and looked at what she was doing, she wasn't doing anything wrong. She was trying to save Steve's life and all the lives around them.
Well, it sounds like some stuff today, right? Anyways, let's not get
into
it.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I love her in this. I think this is, like you said, a great growing movie for her that turns her into the woman we like from Infinity War onward. So anyways, Clint Barton, Hawkeye.
I love him in this because he's just outright, fine, I'll retire. Screw y'all. And he does. But then once he realizes what's going on, he's just unapologetically, no questions asked, got your back, Cap.
Well, so
and it's like, whoa, you'd think he'd be like with Natasha in a sense of understanding, but he's like, no, this is bullshit.
Yes, exactly. That's his attitude.
He's like, there is no question. Don't even think about it.
Is he there in the Sokovia Accords introduction scene? I don't remember him being there until.
I don't remember it either.
I think guys, comment in the comment section down below. I think he shows up for the first time when he recruits Wanda.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But because he makes the comment, I'm out of retirement. Then he says, oh, I should have stretched before this and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I think he wasn't there before.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah.
Anyways,
I think they went to him with it, and he's just like, get off my property.
I love yeah, probably. Yeah. So anyways, I love that. I like him in this. Scott Lang, Ant-Man.
Yeah, comedic relief and does some of the best visuals in doing the Giant Man thing. Sold me 100%.
Yes.
Love it. I love it. And going in Iron Man's suit. Love it. Yeah, I like him in this. And it makes sense. He's on Cap's side. He's kind of a criminal anyways. It was just, in making it funny about it. He'd be like, yeah, it's kind of illegal what we're doing or whatever. Just, yeah, okay, whatever. It's my life. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, to me, it's like cool. And I think he's definitely more of a Cap lover anyway.
He is. He loves Cap. And then, when they said, you understand when you do this, you're going to be a criminal now. He's like, what's new?
Yeah, it's story mode.
Literally is. I love that they played onto that character a little bit. And the only smart thing, though, I saw of him doing was trying to do that thing with what he thought was water tank, and it turned out to be gas or whatever. So that I am, after our Ant-Man retrospective, I am now keeping a little more of an eye whenever he pops up as, where is those smarts? that we saw.
Yeah, and it's kind of there. This one didn't need it.
It didn't need it, so it didn't sour it. It's
Well,
not like we needed it.
We could argue though the idea that he can go giant though, and
Yeah.
and then he's like, let's do this, and
Yeah, this is a surprise. This is my last big. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
able to. Yeah, he still had an ace up his sleeve.
Exactly.
In that kind of way he would in his life.
That's why Tony was like, does anyone else have any fantastical powers? We have no idea.
Yeah. They're all their reaction to him going big too is like
They're like, Tiny Man's huge now. He's huge. Yeah.
And the biggest swear word they get is out of Spider-Man too. He's like, holy shit. He's just this teenage kid. He's like, holy shit.
I'm pretty sure that Marvel had to jump through hoops to make sure Sony said you can say that for 13, 19-year-old Spider-Man.
That is
whatever.
awesome that he said it though.
13.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that is perfect. Yeah.
Who else? That's what you would say. Like,
yeah. Because he is still that kid that would say something like that.
Yeah.
All right. T'Challa, Black Panther.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
What the heck of an intro. Amazing.
Yes, I love him. He just it's so perfectly done. It's so perfectly done.
Yeah.
And obviously he's on Iron Man's side, but it's more of a personal thing. It's got it's not I don't think ideologically when it comes down to politically, it's on his mind.
No.
He just wants to get Bucky because he thinks
exactly. Yeah. No, exactly. He's not there on behalf of the government. He's not there on behalf of the Accords or
personal.
Yes, it's I want Bucky. Because that's who he sees as the bad guy. So yeah. All right, those were our character deep dives for that. Now performances.
Okay.
So this is hard. Oh my gosh, this was so hard. Wow, I just see who I wrote down.
Whew.
Best performance for you, sir.
So my two honorable mentions are Chris Evans and Sebastian Stan. I think Chris Evans does awesome in this, obviously. As Cap, every time it's great. He's probably the closest to second or to the first. And I think Sebastian Stan has great moments in this that can't be overlooked. But I gotta tell you, the best performance, the award for me, it definitely goes to Robert Downey Jr.
My exact person too.
Like, holy Lord.
Wow. For a Cap's third film, it's a whole other level.
It's some of the best Iron Man, Tony Stark Iron Man moments.
Yes.
Like, just he is outstanding in this movie.
Yes.
Outstanding.
Yes, both as Iron Man and as Tony Stark. Yep. He's his scenes, his dialogue, the way he it's the traditional Tony Stark thing, but what really got me more was how he could hone in on rage and really express that and show that. That's
the moments he has in this are just insane.
Yes.
Insane. The intensity.
I don't see this type of stuff in his solo films, not like that at least.
Yeah.
So that's great. Yeah. That's fantastic. Anyways, yeah, I completely agree with you for that. All right. Most surprising performance.
I'm gonna give that to Sebastian Stan because I needed to see more of Bucky as Bucky. And once you realized it was Bucky and not the Winter Soldier and him being in and out of it all the time, you really got this feel of him. So by the end, when we are at the post-credit scene and he's like, yeah, I think it's just safer I'm here. It's like, and then even just before they go in, like just before they get to the end here and they're both bantering back and forth, I'm like, it's surprising to me because it took me this long to like him this much. It might not be the right answer for this section, but I have to say it because it really stood out to me. So,
yeah. No, that's fine. Most surprising performers I put for myself were two people, Chadwick Boseman and Tom Holland. They're
great choices.
First time introducing to the MCU, and honestly, this is such a character-heavy film already, and the Russo brothers' first time actually doing like an Avengers-level film that you easily, understandably could have dropped the ball on one of these characters because you're focused on some of these other things. They never did. And the casting wise for them, for a complete unknown like Tom Holland to get it, it was perfect. It's like he was born to play Peter Parker.
Yeah, he's my close second.
And Chadwick Boseman, like you said from the very beginning, when you see him on screen and he just turns his head, he commands your attention just by basic little movements. And so they were both, to me, captivating. He was captivating and Chadwick Boseman was captivating. Tom Holland was ripped from the comics, exactly how I would have pictured Peter. So I had to give it's surprising at this time for their introduction to have that. So
yeah. I'm with you. Yep.
All right, weakest performance, if any.
So this was tough. But if I had to pick one, I'm just gonna say it because there wasn't a lot for this character to do. The moments that this character did have things to do, um, I would say is the only time I was like, well, that didn't quite hit me the way I thought it would, and that's gonna be the person that played Sharon Carter.
Yep.
But it's got nothing to do with her, I guess. It's just not a big part. And there's nothing else bad, so she just got the short end of the stick on this in this spot for me.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm gonna stick with that. So,
Yeah, for me personally, I didn't write anyone down. I did leave this
yeah.
blank because I agree with you for her, her parts that were small. So there's one scene in particular I did not like, but that's just a personal taste, guys. Um, but
Yeah, it's the one what do you wanna talk about, or are we gonna save it for the worst scene? Because it's gonna be my worst scene.
okay, then let's save it for the worst scene. We'll talk about then. But yeah,
It's
but
still a good scene.
it's still good. I love the stuff around the scene, I would say. But that particular moment, I'm like, eh. But other than that, her delivering those iconic lines from the comics of the funeral, I loved it.
Yep,
So when they
that
did give her,
saved it. Yeah.
yeah, when they gave her screen time, it was really well done, except for one little part. But other than that, so I will agree with you there. Emily Van Camp would probably have been the worst if I had to pick, but or weakest, I should say. But um, other than that, really well done on everyone's part, even for
Yeah.
what Emily was given.
Mhm.
Well done on her part. Casting wins or misses?
So the wins are across the board. There's no misses in this movie.
Yep.
This
Yep.
is this is a great example of casting perfection.
Yes, I agree. I initially wrote down Chadwick Boseman and Tom Holland, but honestly, that's only because they're brand new to the scene.
Yeah, good
But
point. That'd be great. That's great to point out at least. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but I agree with you. I think that for performance wise, all of them, even the MCU veterans in here, they all stepped up, and
yeah.
it was shown. Excuse me, really well. All right, missed opportunities.
So I have one.
'Kay,
And you know what? It's inconsequential.
'kay.
In meaning which, if it's not in the movie, doesn't change a thing. If it's in the movie, wouldn't change a thing. But maybe a cameo from Nick Fury could have happened.
Mm,
That's
yeah, he's
they hit everybody, but he's just not there. But you know what? I don't care. But
yeah, because there wasn't
yeah, but there could have been something.
yeah, I can see that.
Who knows? Could have been something dumb. You could have been just one boom, and he's
Mhm.
there with a couple lines, and Sam Jackson it up, and he leaves. Other
So
than that, that's all I could think of that this was missing.
yeah, no, I completely understand. The only thing I'm gonna take this time at this moment to mention in regards to this, there's no missed opportunities for me or wasted potential on the cast or characters. So there's nothing on there. But I wanted to mention because we haven't yet, um, Helmet Zemo, the villain to a degree of this movie. Like if they had to have a physical embodiment of the villain type thing, not the ideological one. And I did a little bit of a type up on this because I know when you watch this movie, if you're not familiar with the comics of what Zemo is, I'm gonna first and foremost tell you that they did him better in here than I can't picture the comic version being in this film and it will work out. So I did a little comparison just so the audience and you, I don't know if you know much about him
I
from the
know
comics,
almost nothing.
you could find out
Yeah.
exactly what the Russo brothers did to him and why, in my opinion, it leveled him up. So in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Helmut Zemo is a grounded, tragic figure driven by grief, the loss of his family to Ultron in Sokovia. In the comics, Zemo is an aristocrat, unapologetically evil Nazi and Hydra leader, deeply devoted to world domination and his family's supremacist legacy.
Ugh.
So, first off, motivations and ideology. In the MCU, as we see in this film, Zemo's sole motivation is personal revenge against super-powered individuals. He fundamentally believes that superheroes are dangerous and that nobody should have that much power. He hates Hydra and has no interest in ruling the world. Whereas in the comics, he follows a long line of supremacist nobility. His core driving force is to restore his father, Baron Zemo's legacy conquer the world, and eradicate Captain America. There's like 5 points I have on here so you get the full picture of the differences that they did with them. The backstory. MCU, he's a decorative intelligence officer and commander of the Sokovian paramilitary unit. His turn to villainy is a tragic response to collateral damage from Age of Ultron, whereas in the comics, he is the 13th Baron of the Castle Zemo. He grew up embracing his family's Nazi and Hydra affiliations, training as a supervillain from the start. And for appearance, in the MCU, he operates mostly without a mask, relying on his intellect. Even he eventually does don his iconic purple mask in the Falcon and Winter Soldier as a nod to his origins, but his face is never permanently disfigured. Whereas in the comics, he frequently wears the purple hood or mask, which is permanently fused to his face in a vat of super adhesive called Adhesive X. He is facially disfigured. Not in this movie. Powers and super science. In the MCU, he's just an ordinary human with zero superpowers. Relies entirely on brilliant manipulation, psychological warfare, and specialized military training to divide and conquer. Whereas in the comics, he is very intelligent, but also utilizes his father's super science, which is how he created that Adhesive X stuff. And then later on, he got serums through powers of another character.
Really?
And then the last thing is team leadership. In the MCU, Zemo works as a solo person, a brilliant plotter who hates superhumans, though he occasionally leverages Bucky and Sam for specific temporary goals. In the comics, he's deeply tied to forming and leading a villain team called the Masters of Evil, and eventually in the comics, part of the secret creator of the Thunderbolts with Thaddeus Ross.
Wow.
So I just wanted to give a little side-by-side comparison of what the source material is and what the Russo brothers did to him in this film. Now, if you are a true comic fan and just didn't want Zemo to ever be tampered with, I can see where you'd say he shouldn't have been in the movie or be part of this, because if you're that much of a comic crazy fanboy.
Right.
But this is brilliant. How they
did so good with
they
this.
revamped him for this film, and it made me like him.
Yeah, for
compared to the very comic booky villainy that they had to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Creative writing right there, very much needed, and it was perfect for this.
Yes. Yep.
So anyways, I just wanted to take a moment to mention the villain there, to really give you guys a full picture of what they had to do in this movie to make him work, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, for sure. Couldn't agree more.
All right, direction.
It's funny when you were explaining it, all I could think of is earlier in our show when we were doing the competition thing, and like that is as far different as you can get. So you could do that thing with Dr. Doom with my, with my Al Pacino thing. But I'm just saying it's funny how they're just like, you know what, screw all that. We're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And man, it's so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine when they're in the writing room and they're like, who do we want Captain America's villain to be? Be like, well, we haven't touched Zemo yet. And they're looking at Zemo's profile and they're like, how do we do this? Then
There's
we're
really
like,
only Zemo in name.
yeah, especially when they already decide they want to do the Civil War and be like, I'm glad they didn't mention Helmet. In the whole movie, they didn't mention it, even though it is.
I'd be a super villain too if my name is Helmet.
But yeah, I love the Russo brothers were like, yeah, let's just rewrite this. I don't think they'll mind. And we did not mind.
Right.
It was very good. All right. Direction and production.
Yeah, I mean, these directors are fantastic. The cinematography is great. Very iconic shots and moments that they went through. The action is just on par. It looks great. The CGI is on par. It looks great. The music is just amazing. I think it does a great job. The only thing I gotta say for this whole section pretty much is how amazing to double down on these guys. I'm glad that they were fought for their version of this film. When I say they, I mean the Russos. And it just shows that they know what's going on. So they oversaw this, and this is a masterclass of how you should do a superhero movie. At least of this quality and this brand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's all I got to say about that whole spot.
I agree. I wrote amazing for everything of this. because it really is. I'm glad that they stuck to their guns. I'm glad that the events happened the way that they did internally in Marvel Studios and in Disney. And also, at the same time, think about it in this way, guys. Not only was all that happening, Kevin Feige had to go over to Sony Pictures when Amy Pascal was eating a sandwich, and she's like, "We need to do another Spider-Man," and they just fired Andrew Garfield. What do we do? And he's like, "Give him to me." And she got so mad she threw the sandwich at him.
That's wild.
And then you think about it and be like, you know what? That's a genius idea. So in the midst of Kevin Feige getting more creative freedom and control over the Marvel Studios and the MCU as a whole, he also just got an amazing deal done with a rival studio that it's still blowing my mind that Disney, being the type of company they are, would even have allowed such a thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All at the
pretty
midst of the
wild.
same time.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Like the Russo brothers, they said in the recent in an interview, because this year is the 10th anniversary of this film.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So they said that they, up until the day before they started shooting, they didn't even know if it was actually going to happen. They had the cast, they had everything all done. They were still waiting for one final greenlit, and Kevin Feige literally walked through their door frame, and through the door frame, just gave a thumbs up, and he says, "Go right ahead." And that's it. Then they were able to shoot the next day.
That's wild. Yeah.
So that could have dramatically changed the whole thing if a pen dropped somewhere, you know?
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, anyways.
What a crazy cool thing. Can't wait till we have this 60-year anniversary, 4-hour-long documentary of these movies, right?
Yeah.
Because those stories like that I want to hear. Because there's got to be a ton of stories like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so we're moving on to hot takes.
Yeah.
Do you have a hot take for this?
I'm going to double down on my last one when it comes down to the Russos. I'm going to double down that as good and as right the decision was to give this movie to the Russos, they still are dooming the rest of the MCU by making such a good movie.
You're too good, guys. You're too good.
They're setting the bar too damn high.
Yeah.
And some do not meet up.
No.
Boy, they try, but you just, how do you? How do you?
Yeah, no, I mean, the stuff that we see on this film is like so good. Anyways, yeah, so my hot take, probably one for most of the hardcore comic fans of anything, is I want to say this exactly right, and you hear me loud and clear when I say this. This is a hot take, and you come at me for this. Doing a comic accurate version of this film would not have worked as well.
Oh.
Even if you had every character at your disposal, doing a comic accurate version of this film would not have worked this well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
This is an epic comic book. I'm not dismissing it or belittling it. It's so good that the Russo brothers wanted to use it as inspiration for their film, but they would not. Some things don't always translate well, and I cannot picture you doing this comic book, into this film at all.
So you know the comic book really well. Let's say hypothetically they have all their characters.
Mm-hmm.
We're this far into the MCU. You don't think they could do an Avengers Civil War Part 1 and Part 2, 2 movies, 3 hours long, and tell it closer to the book? Because you won't want it exactly like it anyways, but more closer to. Do you think they could get away with it then?
I think
because not in a one and done at this point in the MCU, no way could they get away with it.
Yeah, no, but I think because there are so many characters in here, it definitely can't be a two-parter. This would be more like a phase.
Oh, so tell each character's story differently and
because
throughout the whole thing.
If you did a comic book accurate version of the Civil War thing, which that's why they won't do it, because it's a whole phase. That's what, 5 to 6 years of movies on just one comic book, because it touches upon everybody. If you try to do a comic accurate version of this, you will do hands down a disservice to a character in here somewhere.
It'd be like an Avengers Civil War Part 1 and then 4 movies that deal with it. Avengers Civil War Part 2, 4 movies that deal with it, and Avengers Civil War Part 3.
Yep.
That'd be like a whole.
That would be probably the best way to tackle it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculously wrong for just one comic line. That's why I see they can't do that stuff, because they're like, there's so many other stories they could tell, and these actors only so long in the MCU sometimes,
They won't tell just this one.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I remember
So
when
the time that they did this with the characters that they had at their disposal and the way they're able to rework the main plot points of the Civil War comic into this, brilliantly mastered it.
Cool.
They would not be able to do that, so that's my hot take.
I like it. Good hot take.
All right. Quick fire questionnaire, answer fast, don't overthink. Best scene of the movie.
Okay. I haven't talked about the scene yet. The best scene in the movie is just before Tony and them watch the video of Tony's mom and dad dying. The conversation between Zemo and Captain America is the best scene in this movie. When they're talking through the glass there, and Zemo's just having this conversation, and he goes, because it's funny being this close to you, is like there's still a little bit of green in those bright blue eyes. There's this unique, it's neat to see. I'm glad to see that there's even flaw in you, but it just, the way they start talking and how Captain is asking him things, Cap realizes he lost somebody, and he immediately goes to the compassion side of it. He's like, oh, you lost people. Like, he's like, like he feels for him in that moment. Like, even this guy that's doing what he's doing, Cap's like, oh, well, no wonder you're doing this. But Zemo, just his hatred for him, that scene for the acting there, the best scene in the movie.
That's a very good pick.
I mean, there's a lot of good scenes in this movie. That scene though, I'm glued and I'm watching and I'm like, wow, wow, what a scene! What a scene between them two.
Wow, that is a very good pick of a scene, because it's
personal.
It is.
And there's no way that they can be face to face without that glass there in that room.
For me, I would put that as my underrated scene, because people probably wouldn't think about that often, but it still keeps true to who
That might
Cap
be a good spot for it too, because I don't have a spot. I don't have anything in my underrated spot yet.
I really didn't either. So I'm like, you know what? That sounds like that.
This might take up 3 spots. That's gonna be one of them. Yeah.
Well, I would say that my best scene of the movie is when Cap is captured and he and Tony talk with the pens.
Yeah, it's a good scene. Yeah, you're right.
Because it reinforces the earlier scene of them discussing the Sokovia Accords and why they have this ideological difference.
Yep.
Even when they're trying to make a compromise, there's always something that's not right, and Steve holds his ground.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. Okay. What's next, guys? Oh my. Least best scene.
So I just had to pick a scene that I liked the least, because I think everything in here is fine. I could care less. Here's the thing: this scene still needed to be in the movie. That's the sad part about it. Maybe one part of this scene didn't need to happen, but this whole little kiss he shares with Sharon.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt the movie at all. It just is my least favorite scene.
I agree. That, to me, and it might be more of a fan theory thing, because I think it's not continuity wise in the MCU, but they heavily implied that at the end of Endgame, when Steve goes back in time and he's with Peggy, there's that version of him that was living on, and then he would have seen his niece grow up and stuff like that, and it makes it now, obviously Doomsday probably is going to be changing a lot of this, because now we're going to find out where he went after that, and then seeing Steve continue on, but it was heavily implied at that time, and so I might change my reason for it later, so it felt a little cringy to me, him kissing Sharon.
Yeah, but at this moment, none of that's happened yet. So
it hasn't, so I give him the benefit of the doubt. It still felt...
And Steve's not going to be weird about it later.
No, and I love when Bucky and Falcon are like...
Their reactions are great.
They're not only their reactions, but right before that, can you move? No. And
Yeah,
then so Bucky scoots over, and then they're both smiling at Steve like, "Yeah, you get it.
yeah.
Get it, boy."
They're
Yeah.
both proud of him.
Yeah. So I do appreciate all that around there.
I do.
It's just that is I agree that first part is not
Just
not
didn't need it.
needed. Yeah.
But at the same time,
It doesn't
with it,
hurt anything.
the argument for that is this still needed to be Cap's movie. So if there are going to be any moments like that, that's who gets it, and that's where it's going to be.
Exactly. I get
So
that.
it didn't hurt it at all either.
All right. So, best villain moment.
Yeah, Zemo talking to Caps through the glass.
Mm.
What he says to him, how he says it to him, it's mean, it's hurtful, it shows the vengeance in him. It shows it's taken over, that he just, yeah, that's, to me, that's, yeah.
I wrote Zemo killing the super soldiers
Yeah,
because it's unexpected, and
that's probably a
we
better
needed
choice.
we needed that. We needed something unexpected because everyone up until this point, even right before the whole airport thing, the whole reason why they were going to the airport to fly away is because they were going to fight a whole bunch of super soldiers they thought were going to be released, and turned out plot point or whatever. I forgot the right wording, but nope. Plot twist. Nope. Not going to happen. All right. Most punchable face for you.
Ross.
I have two. So yeah, Ross is one of mine.
He needs it right in the kisser.
Yeah.
Just, you know what? It's not even for what he stands for. It's how he talks to them.
It's just how he acts.
He's just such a pompous dick.
Yes.
He's just, and the one word answers, you know, he's like, dude, get the hell. You can at least be nicer. Like,
I will.
Is part of your job being a dick? Because you're great at it. Like, that's just, if he wasn't that, not that it bothers me. It's fine. It's the character. It works just fine. But it's just, why? Like, this, you need, someone hasn't punched you in the face in a long time.
I will point out that this is William Hurt's first appearance since The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
and
true.
I remember at the time when that happened, I remember being in the theaters and seeing that because there was a lot of speculation on, are they even going to make The Incredible Hulk be part of continuity because they changed the main actor? And we haven't seen anything from that ever since then.
That's a big deal then. Yeah.
So when he showed up and he still was playing Ross, for me at least, and for other people, were like, oh, they're keeping some continuity with that film.
Yeah.
Whether you like that or not, at least they were like, we're going to keep that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he is a great actor. So he basically carried most of that film as the best actor.
Just wish he wasn't such a jerk.
So I wrote him, but I also wrote that Hydra guy that had the book, the brainwashed Bucky.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, you're still a Nazi, so I want to punch you.
Yeah, no, very good reasoning. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, the prop that you would take home.
Yeah, I picked the book.
Oh, his book. Okay.
I did.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I picked the Sokovia Accords.
Okay.
When he threw that on the table and you got to see it, I immediately thought I would like that book, that whole packet of this thicker than my Bible, Sokovia Accords.
Nice. All right, I like that too. Yeah.
All right. Underrated moment. I think we mentioned that as the
I'm also gonna mention, I do think that the moment with the pens is underrated too. I don't think that's talked about enough either. But yeah, I definitely am gonna also put in there the conversation between Steve and Zemo through the glass.
Yeah.
Which is funny. It gets a lot of recognition from me, but guys, you don't understand how much I love that scene.
Yeah, well, it's a great scene, and I don't see that as being mostly recognized a lot too. Most overrated moment.
I have no idea. Maybe the kiss. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's it.
We'll just put it as the kiss because there's nothing.
It could have been any girl. We just want to see Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have rather been the girl with the lip piercing. I'd have laughed.
That would have
been funnier, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't think of a moment in this movie where I thought we're not taking it serious enough.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Funniest moment for you. I got two.
So there's a bunch, but I'm gonna pick just one. And there's a setup to it, and then when it happens. I love when he tells Ross, call me, I like to watch my light blink when people are on hold. And then at the end, he does call him. He goes, what? I'm going to put you on hold. He's like, no. He's like, puts him on hold. And Tony follows through with that weird stuff that he does, which is another weird thing he does. Like, don't hand me things or whatever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, so I love that. To me, that's funny. I laugh so hard because it's at a serious moment in the movie, but he's like, oh, I'm going to put you on hold. And I'm like, oh my God, he's doing it to him. So, yeah, I picked that because I just thought that was perfect.
Great. That's a good one. So I picked two. One of them was between Tony and Peter Parker in his room when he's like, "Can you even see through these things?" Whoa! And then Tony grabs, he's like, "Yes, I can see through them." I thought that was funny. His overreaction for that.
Yeah.
And then the other one is when Ant-Man grabs the shield and gives it the cap, and he says, "I believe this is yours, Captain America."
How he talks to him. Yeah.
It's exactly how he talks to him. Be like, trying to impress you, Captain America. Like it's just how he says it. I instantly laughed when I watched that. That was pretty good. All right, most emotional moment.
So I had to think about this one for a few minutes because this has got a couple really great moments in it that you could pick from, and I gotta tell you, the scene I felt the most emotions that had me hit the feels, like I couldn't help it, was watching Tony process what he's looking at on the screen of that video.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Downey Jr. does this thing going from we're figuring this out to what is this? What's going on? To that out of control, like just what he does and how when he turns to Steve and he says, "Did you know?" You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that moment when he asks him twice. I'm like, yeah, wow, that's powerful. What powerful stuff there. There's other moments in this movie too, but that one I have to say, I think stuck out the most to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the obvious answer is going to be Peggy, right? You know, I almost put Peggy down as the weakest performance just for a joke. Because it's so hard to come up with one, right?
So bad
That
she
was
died.
yeah. I mean, she didn't do it. She laid in the casket. God,
Oh my God.
take the easy way out. Way to hone it in.
Okay. Oh my.
But yeah, no, I think that takes it for me though, only because that is, I get it. You know what I mean? Like I get that. Like I don't know, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So I wrote two down, and they're for two different emotions. Because usually you think of emotional, and you think of sad.
Yeah.
And so I wrote down Tony going after Bucky and Cap for like the rage emotion part.
Yeah.
That is the most vicious I've seen him. Even when he goes against Thanos, I feel like this one is you see it more.
Yeah.
And that might just be me. And when we get to those retrospectives, maybe I'll negate that a little bit. But I really only remember seeing that look on his face when at the very end when he takes the helmet off and he has the rage on him before Cap does the shield down. I'm like, wow. Like you could see it. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that, and then I did write Peggy's funeral for Steve in particular.
I just don't feel like it hit the emotional chords it could have.
For me personally, it did, only because you see the tears starting to well up in his eyes as he's carrying the casket, and then it was the speech that Sharon gave, because I knew it was directly from the comics and how it was executed brilliantly. That made me feel, wow, they really took care of this comic rest in peace moment, you know?
If I'd have known that, it would have hit me a bit differently, but it just kind of, to me, felt like it was happening, and it was sad, but like, or I had that moment, but
because
it probably would have resonated more with me if I'd have known it was straight from the comic.
Well, they didn't have to go that extra mile to literally put in those words. They could have reworded it. They could have done something different, and they didn't. They were like, you know what? Some things are just perfect the way they were originally written, so let's just keep this part the way it was. And I appreciate that the Russo brothers saw that and kept that. So, anyways, final scores, guys. Out of 2, what's the story for you, sir?
2.
Same thing for me. Characters.
2.
Same thing for me. Action and visuals.
2.
Same thing for me. Emotion and stakes.
2.
Same thing for me. Rewatchability and MCU impact.
Can we give that one a 3?
That would be pretty cool. 3 out of 2. Sure, why not? All right. So, what is your final score?
I mean, guys, this is the first 10 out of 10 out of me.
Me too.
This is best MCU right here.
Hands down. I felt weird when I wrote 10 out of 10. I thought, is this right? Because we haven't gotten there yet. Even with Winter Soldier, we were like 9.5. We were right at the cusp. But yeah. So
this movie is awesome.
The official Goodell Multiverse score is a 10 out of 10 for Captain America Civil War.
See, it's not going to be the only 10 out of 10.
It's not. This is just the beginning.
And what's wild about that is when we do our final list, we'll have to do some points
Mm-hmm.
to make it to like, because we'll have like, a few tens.
Oh,
And
yes.
it'll be, okay, so which one of these is better than the other one? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And that is going to be a task in its own. So
All right. So if you had one sentence final review.
I would say for my one sentence is Winter Soldier paired with this landed them both as good movies that even exceed the genre of superhero movies. Yeah, Marvel. This movie makes Marvel officially cinema. So eat that, Mr. Scorsese's. I don't care what you say. That's a great movie right there.
Oh,
And
I-
you know it. He knows it. He knows it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could not give a better final review than what you did. I just wrote down this is one of the best Marvel movies ever made, and probably ever will be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like yours. Oh, is there any pitch you would have done differently?
No.
I figured not me either, guys. Oh, so thank you for staying with us on the Goodell Multiverse and going through this retrospective review of literally one of the best Marvel movies ever made.
It's going to have that title for a while.
All right. So what is next on our plate, Ike?
All right, guys. So, hey, so next, guys, on our plate, we're going to be going into our next episode. We're going to be doing a retrospective of Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
This will be a fun one to do. It's been a while since I watched Doctor Strange, so I'm looking forward to watching it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then so look out for that, and keep an eye out for when we're definitely going to be doing hot takes. When we do our next episode, we'll have some great news stuff for you. We'll have some more rumors that we're going to dig up. We'll put some shorts out there. And keep an eye out. We're not sure when yet, but Sammy's been getting it ready, and we filmed it the other day. We had a great time doing our X-Men 1 thing, guys, when we filmed it. And Sammy's in the middle of editing it right now. Keep an eye out for it. It was a great time. Right, it's turning out real good.
We had a blast. It was so fun, and it's just great to revisit those characters again. And I'm actually excited because not only are we doing this, but we're preparing for next month's special this upcoming week, next weekend, technically, when we do Doctor Strange for X2 X-Men United.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny, we're going to have both of these filmed before I get the first episode released to you, but I tell you, it will come out this month in June, the first episode. So that post-credits scene, I totally forgot about.
No, there it is where he sees I don't even know what he is that he has, but it's funny though. It's cool.
Yeah. But
hey guys, like, subscribe, share this with friends, watch this, guys. What'd you think of Civil War? Do you agree with us? I hope you do, because guys, this movie's awesome, and it's just one of the best. Like, this is peak MCU.
Mm-hmm.
This is a golden age of it too. We might have a couple, I know Doctor Strange ain't going to be a 10, but it ain't going to be a 2 either.
Yeah.
So like there's going to be a couple that kind of falter here and there, but I got to tell you, man, when moving on though with this, it just gets better for a while. For quite a while. We got a good few movies to go through. This next stretch of movies are going to be a lot of fun to do. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
Not that they haven't been fun. These are great. This is great. This movie though, man. Whew,
Yeah. Well,
what a game changer.
To piggyback off of what my brother just said, do exactly what he said, guys. Like our social media, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and especially, of course, we're on YouTube. Stream wherever you can stream your podcast, guys, for the Goodell Multiverse podcast. And tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Get the word out there for us, guys. And until next time, see you at the movies.